The virtual light curtain intertwined with light and shadow came like a tide, and Li Xiu's consciousness was instantly pulled into the boundless galaxy. A low system prompt sounded in my ears: "Welcome to Virtual Empire, player Li Xiu, the starting point of the newbie server, the deserted newbie village. Please select the initial profession." His vision became clearer. He was surrounded by dilapidated wooden houses and muddy paths. The air was filled with the smell of damp earth and the low roars of distant beasts. Players gathered in small groups, wielding rusty iron swords to kill low-level slimes, and the green experience bar slowly climbed up. But Li Xiu's eyes were as sharp as an eagle. He glanced at the system panel: Strength 10, Agility 12, Stamina 9. The initial attributes were mediocre, but they hid the murderous intent of his genius player. "Hey, new chicken. Get away, this slime area is the territory of our Mofan Alliance." A strong player with a full level of 8 blocked the way. His ID was Frenzy Butcher. He was wearing tattered leather armor and holding a rusty battle axe. He was followed by 5 or 6 younger brothers, all of whom surrounded him with a ferocious smile. The smell of alcohol on their breath filled the air, and even though it was virtual, it was so realistic that it was nauseating. Li Xiu frowned slightly. He encountered a traffic jam just after giving birth. The newcomer village is supposed to be a chaotic place where the weak and the strong prey on each other, with limited resources. Experts have long occupied the monster spawning points, while low-level players can only pick up the residue. He tried to go around, but was hit on the ground by the butcher with an axe. The red text of the system popped up: "Warning. Illegal invasion of the territory, 10 experience points will be deducted." Passers-by and players around him whispered, and some people gloated, "Another unlucky ghost, the Mofan Alliance is rampant in the newcomer village, who dares to mess with it? Kneel down and call me, I'll leave you a mouthful of soup." The butcher spat, the axe blade flashing coldly in the sun. His younger brother laughed loudly, and a thin player with the ID, Stinger, said secretly, "Boss, this guy is handsome. How about selling him to the black market as a slave? The initial equipment can be sold for 50 copper coins." A sense of despair came like a tide. Li Xiu's health bar was only 80%. His initial weapon was just a wooden stick. Faced with 6 people surrounding him, anyone else would have to kneel down. But there was a sneer on the corner of his mouth. The ambition of a talented player never succumbs to a disadvantage at the start. He glanced at the map, and countless online game tactics flashed through his mind. Virtual Empire is the pinnacle of holographic VR. Players can freely build empires, guilds compete for hegemony, and conquer servers. Resource plundering is king, and cross-server wars are the ultimate glory of baptism of blood. The weak become cannon fodder, and the rulers annex the entire server. "Want to play? Come on." Li Xiu whispered, making a mistake in his steps, and his agility attribute exploded instantly. He did not retreat but advanced, the wooden stick pointed at the butcher's knees like a poisonous snake. The system sounded: critical hit. Caused 35 points of damage. The butcher's health bar dropped by 20%, his eyes widened and he staggered back. "What? The initial wooden stick critical hit is 35? This guy's operation is god level." The younger brothers were stunned, and Stinger shouted with a trembling voice, "Boss, his attack speed is 1.5 times the initial speed. How is it possible for a newcomer?" Passerby players gathered around, their eyes widening, and a female archer murmured, "Oh my god, look at his positioning, he predicted the wind of the butcher's axe, and even dodged the whistling of the axe blade in the air." Li Xiu didn't give a breather, rolled over and picked up the iron sword dropped by the butcher. The attributes popped up: attack plus 15, sharpness 80%. His figure was like a ghost, and his sword flashed continuously. The 3 younger brothers fell to the ground instantly, and their health bars were cleared. The butcher roared at him, "Boy, you're dead." The axe blade struck down with wind pressure. Li Xiu dodged sideways, and the tip of the sword pierced his back and heart. The touch of blood splattering was lifelike, and the butcher knelt down, his voice trembling. Impossible, level 8 leather armor has a defense of 25, and your sword breaks 50 defense points. Are you a monster? Passers-by around him burst into exclaims, and an old player rubbed his eyes. The initial player challenged 6 people alone. His DPS output is 12 points per second, which is more than our full level. The Mofin Alliance is so embarrassed. After the butcher's brother was resurrected, he got up and his legs were weak. Boss, let's retreat. This guy is the king of top operations. Li Xiu gasped and stood up straight, his health bar returned to full, and his experience skyrocketed to level 5. Stack of dropped items, 200 copper coins, 100 units of slime glue, 5 pieces of iron ore. System prompt, killing a player for the first time, you will get the hidden honor, newcomer butcher, all attributes +2. He glanced coldly at the fleeing enemies and thought to himself, "Mo fan. He is just a clown. Sooner or later he will annex your guild, activate the cross-server portal, and dominate the entire server." The monster spawning was in full swing when a system friend request popped up. Chu Tian requested to join the team. Li Xiu clicked to agree, and a slender swordsman player teleported over. His ID was Chu Tian, full level 9, with bright eyes. Brother, what a great operation. Just now, the whole village's channel exploded. You singled out the Mo Fan Alliance, and the DPS broke the table. Chu Tian, won. Team up to spawn monsters. Li Xiu nodded, and the two of them cooperated tacitly. Chu Tian's swordsmanship is exquisite. Li Xiu predicts his position, and targets the elite slime king. He is huge, sprays venom, and has a pungent sour smell in the air. The monster roars, Gulu. The health bar is 2000 points and the defense is 30. Chu Tian charged first. My main tank, you deal damage. The sword and shield blocked the poisonous mist, and Li Xiu circled back and slashed continuously. The sword light was like a net. Critical hit. 152 points. King Slime's health bar dropped wildly. Chu Tian's eyes widened. Brother Xiu, your critical hit rate is 30%. How can the initial equipment deal 152 damage? It's amazing. Passers-by players gathered around to watch, and some screamed, look. Their team output exceeds 5,000 per minute, and the defense penetration rate of King Slime is 100%. A mage player trembled. Chu Tian has a DPS of 80 at full level 9, and Li Xiu is only at level 5 and has 120. What a monster. The monster fell to the ground, exploding with a blue-equipped Fang dagger, attack +25, and guild token fragments. Li Xiu picked it up, and his experience skyrocketed, reaching level 10. Panel Shine, level 10, all attributes are off the charts, and the skill, Domination Strike, is unlocked. Single target output is 150%, cooldown is 30 seconds. Brother Xiu, let's build a guild. Chu Tian clapped his shoulders excitedly, his voice trembling. The newcomer village was swept away. I'm determined to follow your ambition to rule. How about calling it the Overlord Dynasty? Li Xiu's eyes burned, and he clicked on the system interface. Create the guild, Dynasty of Overlord, consuming 1/5 of the guild token fragments. Golden light shot into the sky, and the prototype of the guild logo emerged, a black dragon entrenched on the imperial crown, surging with domineering power. The system announcement made the whole village roar. Player Li Xiu has created the Overlord Dynasty. The first level 10 guild prototype is born. The newcomer village channel exploded, and passers-by refreshed the screen. Overlord Dynasty. It sounds awesome. Who is Li Xiu? The god who just challenged the butcher. Chu Tian laughed loudly. Recruit elites. Strategists, warriors, mages, all must be top-notch. Expand your power and conquer the server. Li Xiu nodded, his ambition burning. The initial resources are sufficient. Iron ore can be used to build fortresses. colloids can be used to refine medicine, and copper coins can be used to buy land. In this virtual empire, the guild logo is glory. After activating the cross-server portal, the fire of war will burn the entire server. He will annex everything and build an immortal empire. Just as he was planning, a hidden message from the system popped up, highlighted in red. Special reminder, the mysterious NPC Luo Li appeared under the ancient tree at the end of the village, providing hidden tasks for empire building. The ruler's bloodline is awakening. Li Xiu's heart was shocked. Luo Li, the key NPC who is rumored to guide the cross-server portal. He quickly read the details. Serial missions can unlock the imperial skill tree, multiply resources, and be missed indefinitely. Let's go, Chu Tian, to take a look. The two of them ran towards the end of the village, where ancient trees stood tall, mist shrouded them, and the fragrance of orchids floated in the air. Under the tree, a beautiful figure stood quietly. Luo Li NPC, flowing silver hair, purple eyes like stars, robes embroidered with gold, and a mysterious and noble temperament. Passers-by and players were watching from a distance, whispering, Luo Li. Isn't that a hidden NPC? The trigger rate is 1 in 10,000. Luo Li turned around, locked eyes with Li Xiu, and whispered like a silver bell, but with endless coercion, Ruler, you are qualified to accept the trial. A strange light flashed in her purple eyes, and the system task panel jumped wildly. The beginning of the empire, accept. Reward, Construction Blueprint X1, Cross-Server Clues. Chu Tian took a breath and his voice trembled. Brother Xiu, this is a legendary mission. Luo Li personally called out the names. There are thousands of people in the village, but not one of them is qualified. The eyes of passers-by players were as wide as copper bells, and some people knelt down. Oh my god, Li Xiu is only level 10, and he attracted Luo Li. Is the overlord dynasty going to take off? Li Xiu's heart was racing. A trial. This is where the road to domination begins. But the corners of Luo Li's lips were slightly raised, and in the shadow of the ancient tree behind her, a low roar could be heard faintly. Is the trial monster ready to attack? Chu Tian's face turned pale, and the hilt of his sword turned white. He said in a trembling voice, Brother Xiu, elite wild wolf. That's a group of 12 B-level monsters. Their fangs corrode dot for 15 damage per second. Even a team of people in the village can't stand it. How can the two of us clear 10 of them? The Mo Fan Alliance is still hanging around, and they must come to grab the monsters. The passers-by players around heard it, whispered and exploded, and an archer played the player rubbed his eyes and murmured, is Li Xiu crazy? He took Luo Li's trial when he just founded the guild. The wolves bite him, the health bar is cleared in seconds, and corpses are everywhere. Another mage player gloated and shook his head, Dynasty of Overlords. That sounds awesome. You will kneel down when you encounter the Wolf King boss, and even the new butcher can't save him. The sour smell of suspicion and ridicule filled the air, making people breathless. Li Xiu took a deep breath of the misty air, and the orchid fragrance under the ancient trees penetrated his nose, making his ambition even more intense. Luo Li's purple eyes locked on him, and her voice was like a cold wind blowing, Ruler, the first round of the trial, wolves are raging around the newcomer village, eliminate 10 elite wild wolves, and offer the teeth of the Wolf King. If you fail, you will lose your qualification forever. The system panel flashed wildly, and the mission details popped up, elite wild wolf level 12, health bar 800, attack group bite, defense 22, movement speed 1.8 times the player. The wolf's den outside Shinran village is so eerie that passers-by and players will change their expressions upon hearing it and never dare to go near it. Li Xiu's eyes were bright, he sneered and clicked to accept. The system's golden light flashed, the beginning of the empire, the first ring, is activated. Countdown to 30 minutes. Luo Li's figure faded away, and the low roar in the shadow of the ancient tree turned into a wolf howl, as harsh as a knife scraping bones. He turned to Chu Tian and said, Let's go, the wolf's lair is by the forest in the east of the village. Hold the front row with your shield, and I'll hit the headshot. Chu Tian swallowed, his legs were weak but he gritted his teeth and followed. Brother Xiu, you have the final say. But, what if those beasts like Mo Fan come to cut off the beard? At the edge of the forest to the east of the village, dead leaves covered the ground, the wind rustled, and the smell of wild beasts filled the air. The entrance to the wolf's den was dark and damp, and the green wolf eyes flickered in the darkness. The first wave of 3 elite wild wolves sprang out, their gray fur was like steel needles, their claws scratched the ground and sparks flew everywhere, and their roars made their eardrums buzz. The health bars all reached 800, and the attack prediction line flashed red, heading straight for the back of Li Xiu's neck. Desperation overwhelmed, Li Xiu's health bar was only at full value. Facing the wolves plus enemies, everyone would have to kneel down. Chu Tian's shield moved horizontally, blocking the tearing of the wolf's claws. The clanking sound was like the collision of metal, and his own health bar dropped by 200. Brother Xiu, I'm holding back. But there are so many of them. The wind roared from the butcher's axe, and the wind pressure hurt his face. Li Xiu didn't panic, he made a mistake in his steps, exploded with agility 12, and pierced the wolf's head with the iron sword. Commanding strike. The skill is activated, the output is 150%, the sword light is like lightning, and with a poof, the wolf's brain bursts, with a critical hit of 278 points. The wolf corpse fell to the ground with a crash, dropping wolf skin X1. Fuck. Are the newcomers here to die? Behind the tree in the distance, the mad battle butcher rushed out with a dozen Mo Fan Alliance boys, his eyes red with hatred from the humiliation just now. The butcher swung his axe and smiled ferociously, the wolves belong to us. Li Xiu, I will demolish the prototype of your guild with one axe. The younger brothers laughed and gathered around. Stinger said in a dark voice, Boss, this kid has high DPS, but the wolves' AoE group control, he can't handle it. The individual players passing by stopped and watched, their eyes widened. The Mo Fan Alliance is here. Double attack, Li Xiu is finished, wolf bite plus player attack, 0% survival rate. Chu Tian caught a glimpse from behind the shield, his eyes were as wide as cowbells, and his voice was trembling, Brother Xiu. Command 1 strike and 1 sword 278. Wolf defense 22, your penetration rate is 150%. What a magical skill. The butcher's face was ashen, and he staggered as he hit the air with his axe. Impossible. This kid's movement speed is twice as fast as the initial one, and his position predicts the wolf's jumping arc. The younger brother Stinger backed away with weak legs. Boss, his DPS is 35 per second, and the wolves can't handle it. We will send him away. Li Xiu took advantage of the situation and rolled. He changed hands with the poisonous Fong dagger. The dagger blade flashed with cold light. Blood spurted from the second wolf's throat. The critical attack occurred again and the health bar was cleared. The third wolf pounced on Chu Tian, but he blocked it with his sword and shield, shouting, damage. Li Xiu circled back and stabbed 3 times, with a total of 450 injuries. The wolf fell to the ground wailing. In just 10 seconds, all 3 wolves were wiped out. System prompt, kill elite wild wolves X3, experience plus 900, mission progress March 10th. Li Xiu's panel flashed, strength 11, agility 13. The butcher gritted his teeth and said with hatred, boy, I will keep this grudge. Mr. Mo Fan, the president of the Mo Fan Alliance, will personally attack, and your guild will be destroyed. They fled in a hurry, and the howling in the depths of the wolf's den became even louder. Li Xiu snorted coldly and led Chu Tian deeper, clearing waves one after another. The hissing sound of wolf claws ripping the air, and the smell of fresh blood permeated the air. Every battle was about to advance before suppressing, the wolves surrounded the desperate situation, and he reversed the attack with a commanding strike. Every time Chu Tian blocked it, he was shocked and shouted, Brother Xiu, your prediction is amazing. You have been dead for the wolf's jumping trajectory, and the output is stable at 42 per second. The onlookers screamed, and a warrior player rubbed his eyes. Oh my god. A level 10 newcomer, can you kill 3 wolves in a single second? Before MO Fan's alliance even started, he broke 100 DPS. The mage player trembled. Look at his combos: attack speed 2.2, critical hit rate soared 35%. The butcher's face is green. MO Fan's face turned pale, and he pulled the butcher with a sting. Boss, retreat, this guy is a manipulation monster, and the wolves have become his experience field. In the 7th wave, 2 wolves attacked. Chu Tian's shield was shattered, and his health bar was in critical condition. Brother Xiu, I can't hold on. Li Xiu jumped in like a teleport, dual-wielding iron swords plus poisonous fangs, swords and daggers intertwined like a net, critical hits and consecutive dodges, killing him instantly with 600 injuries. Chu Tian gasped and sat on the ground, his voice trembling like chaff. The dual-wielding output is 180. A level 10 player unlocks dual-wielding. Is there a bug in your attribute panel? The mission progressed 9 out of 10, the experience increased sharply. Li Xiu was promoted to level 11, and all attributes increased again, strength plus 2 to 13, agility 15. Finally, at the bottom of the wolf lair, the boss Wolf King appears. It is as big as an ox, has a health bar of 5,000, and has a defense of 35. The skill, Wolf Bite, has a range, its claws cut through the air like a blade, and the fishy wind hits its face. The Wolf King roared and the ground trembled. A few people around looked on from a distance and screamed, Wolf King boss. MO Fan can't hold down 20 people, and Li Xiu will die. Chu Tian raised his shield, his voice trembling, Brother Xiu, I'll take the main tank, you explode. The onlookers' eyes were about to bleed, and a female player screamed, the team DPS is 8,000 per minute. The Wolf King's defense is 35, and they penetrate 70%. Li Xiu moved like a ghost, anticipating 3 claw attacks. The Wolf King was furious, spraying poisonous mist, and the sour smell filled his nose. Chu Tian was hit by DOT and lost blood. Li Xiu was calm and his skills cooled down well. The second command blow hit his eyes directly, with a critical hit of 980. The Wolf King knelt down, with 10% of his health bar left, and pounced on him with one last leap. Li Xiu refused to retreat. The dagger cut his throat and the sword stabbed his heart. Blood spurted out and the boss collapsed. The system roared, kill the Wolf King, experience plus 5,000, mission completed. Dropped, Wolf King's Fang X1, Wolf King's Skin X5, Elite Wolf Fang Necklace, agility plus 10, critical hit plus 15%. The Wolf King rushed towards him, claws digging into the ground and gravel flying. In the first round of bites, Chutian's health bar dropped by 800, and everything was in danger. Li Xiu circled around, exploded away quickly, and charged up a commanding blow. Up! Chu Tian roared, and the shield hit the wolf's waist, causing him to freeze for a moment. Li Xiu jumped up and stabbed his back with his sword and dagger, boom! A critical hit of 612. The Wolf King's health bar dropped by 12%, he whined and turned around, his tail swept like a whip. Li Xiu rolled and dodged, Chu Tian's last hit DPS was 60, and the team's output climbed crazily. Li Xiu picked it up, and the panel was updated, level 12, strength plus 3 to 16, agility plus 3 to 18, honor experience superimposed. Chu Tian slumped down and stared at Li Xiu's panel, his voice trembling like a candle in the wind, Brother Xiu, strength 16. Agility 18. That's the value at level 12, the panel crushes the full level. Your operation has filled up the boss's milk supply, and we will clear the totem level boss. The individual players knelt down to worship, and some people cried, the Overlord dynasty is awesome. Li Xiu is a god, and the single boss dropped the divine equipment, joined the guild. The two ran back to the end of the village. Luo Li's purple eyes flashed with approval. She took the Wolf King's Fong and poured golden light into Li Xiu's palm. Ruler, qualified. Teach, resource exploration LV1, scanning range of 100 meters, 50% chance of finding resources, consumption of 10 stamina. The system prompts, unlocked. On the first level of the Empire Building skill tree, you will get the construction blueprint X1, small camp, can be upgraded to LV1 stronghold, accommodating 20 people. Cross-server portal clue, collect 5 guild tokens, customize the logo and activate it. Luo Li smiled lightly. The next step is to wait for the expansion of the power. The figure disappeared. Li Xiu's heart was surging and he activated the blueprint. Golden light shot into the sky in the open space outside the village, and small camps were built, wooden fences, tents, and the fragrance of sawdust in the air. Resource exploration was started, the green light swept across, and the system popped up, iron ore vein found. Reserve 500 units. He swung his sword to mine, and the iron ore dinged into his bag. Chu Tian stared, Brother Xiu, this skill is incredible. The iron ore is hidden outside the village, and our guild's first stronghold is stable. Resources poured in, and the camp was upgraded to a LV1 stronghold, high stone walls, arrow towers, defense plus 20%, and can garrison players. The camp was bustling with fires crackling and iron ore furnaces buzzing. They were planning to expand when a system friend request appeared. Ye Zhi requests to join the guild. The beauty's avatar is exquisite. ID Ye Zhi, attached message, President Li Xiu, I heard about the prototype of the Black Dragon Crown logo of the Overlord dynasty. I have the S-level talent logo customizer, which can upgrade the guild logo to be exclusive across servers, and activate the portal with a 50% bonus. Please join and customize it yourself. Chu Tian glanced at the application and frowned, beautiful military advisor. She is very talented, but who in the new village is not jealous of our iron mine? The real motive, isn't it Mo Fan's spy? Li Xiu stared at the application, the corner of his lips raised slightly, join. Well, the road to domination needs one more person. But her purple-eyed avatar is vaguely familiar, and the ambition behind her is like fog. The fire in the camp crackled and burst, the smell of coke from the iron ore furnace mixed with the fragrance of sawdust came to your nostrils, and the night wind blew through the stone walls, bringing the moist smell of the vegetation outside the village. Li Xiu tapped the system interface with his finger, and Ye Zhi's application floated in front of his eyes. The purple-eyed avatar was like a phantom in the fog, and the hidden ambition made the corners of his lips deepen. Past. The friend prompted a flash of golden light, and Ye Zhi teleported into the camp. Her slender figure landed on the ground, with long hair like a waterfall, and a robe embroidered with silver, exuding a light orchid fragrance. Her purple eyes swept over the crowd, and her voice was soft and charming. President, the Overlord dynasty has gained momentum, and I, Ye Zhi, have come to help. The S-level talent logo customizer is in place. Give me the resources, and I will transform the Black Dragon Emperor's crown into the golden dragon swallowing the sky, and my reputation will increase by 20%. Chu Tian raised his shield and his eyes were as alert as a wolf. Beauty, your profile picture looks familiar. Could it be that he is an undercover agent from Mo Fan's side? Tell me, motive. The 5 tiger generals all stared at each other, the mad war archer drew his bowstring and buzzed, the mage's ice and fire staff flashed with blue and red light, the assassin was invisible and translucent, and the priest's holy light shield buzzed. The air in the camp instantly solidified, and the firelight illuminated everyone's livid faces. People passing by heard whispers, beautiful newcomer. The S-level talent is fake, she is eyeing the guild's iron veins, and she will definitely grab resources. Ye Zhi did not panic, locked Li Xiu with his purple eyes, and threw out the system certificate with a chuckle. Logo customizer LV1, consume 500 units of resources, customize exclusive logos, increase guild attributes by 10%, cross-server portal activation plus 50%. President, try my skills. 200 iron ore, 10 wolf skins, 2 wolf king skins, I will refine them overnight. Li Xiu glanced at it coldly, his ambition burning like fire, and nodded directly, Chu Tian, give me resources. Ye Zhi, prove yourself. Chu Tian's face turned pale, and he swallowed and handed over the package. Brother Xiu, do you believe her? What if the guild is cheated? The iron ore jingled into her hands. Ye Zhi sat cross-legged next to the fire, golden light emerged from her hands, the wolf skin melted like liquid, the iron ore was drawn into a dragon bone, and the black dragon emperor's crown symbol was suspended in the air and twisted and deformed. The hot smell of molten metal filled the air, the roar of the dragon was deafening, everyone's eyes were widened, the 5 tigers took half a step back, and the mad war archer's voice trembled, fuck. The symbol is alive. The golden scales are as sharp as knives, the dragon claws tear the air hissing, the golden dragon swallows the sky. The reputation panel jumped. The system-wide guild announcement exploded, the symbol of the overlord dynasty has been upgraded. Golden dragon swallows the sky, domineering plus 20%, reputation plus 20%, deterring the enemy and slowing down by 10%. The village channel was buzzing with excitement, and individual players flocked to it, God's sign. Reputation takes off by 20%, join the overlord. In the blink of an eye, the number of members increased to 20. The new blood stared at Li Xiu's panel and worshipped with a trembling voice, Guild Leader, Level 12, Strength, 16, Agility, 18. Wearing a wolf fang necklace, the critical hit is 50%, take us flying. Outside the stone wall of the camp, there were crowds of people. New players knelt down and shouted, conquer the server. Ye Zhi stood up, his purple eyes flashing, President, the logo has been customized, and the cross-server portal clue is close. Collect 5 guild tokens and it will be activated. Li Xiu nodded, and the system private message popped up with Luo Li's message, Ruler, the second ring preliminaries hot, the first copy of Shadow Cave in the newcomer village. Kill the Shadow Demon Guardian for the first time and get the hidden reward. The golden light on your wrist flashes and the ring is put on, Ring of Dominance, blue equipment, intelligence plus 10, leadership plus 15, team output plus 10%, command range 50 meters. Chutian's eyes bulged, Brother Xiu. Luo Li's hidden reward. Leadership 15. No one in the newcomer village has unlocked this attribute. The team's DPS is full. Li Xiu's eyes were bright, gather 20 people to open up the shadow cave. Chu Tian will go forward, Ye Zhi will provide the logistics, the 5 tigers will output the core, and the new blood will follow closely. The clue to the door is the first kill. On the cliff in the north of the village, the dark wind howled at the entrance of the shadow cave, and black mist filled the air like ink. The stone tablet at the entrance of the cave was inscribed with the words, 90% mortality rate, dense traps, shadow demon boss has 10,000 health levels. The fishy and rotten smell penetrated the nose. Hundreds of passers-by players watched and taunted, is the overlord dynasty crazy? 20 people pioneering the first dungeon. The Shadow Demon Guardian is a level 20 elite boss, instant kill, trap poison arrow DOT 30 per second, a group of 20 people can't survive, and there are piles of corpses. An old player gloated, Li Xiu is awesome as the Wolf King, and he kneels when he touches the Shadow Demon. The Mofin Alliance has just launched channel, the Newcomers Guild is here to send you, let's collect the corpses. Chu Tian raised his shield and his legs trembled slightly, Brother Xiu, the reconnaissance shows poisonous swamps, arrow rain, and shadow clones in the cave, and the team's survival rate is 30%. We are all here, but our understanding is poor. The new blood's face turned pale, and someone stepped back, President, withdraw, the boss skill, Shadow Devour, has a range of blood sucking, 200 per second, it can't be stopped. Li Xiu put on the ring of control, the golden light spread 50 meters, and the team panels flashed, output plus 10%. His voice was cold, come in. Chu Tian opens the monsters, the assassin detects the path, the mage controls the field, and the priest locks me. Stepping forward, the black mist engulfed the field of vision, and the first trap was triggered. The ground cracked, poisonous arrows rained down, hissing through the air was harsh, and the green liquid splashed on the ground and corroded. Xin Shui screamed and his health bar dropped by 300. Chu Tian's shield was horizontal, and ding-ding sparks splashed out to block most of them. Brother Xiu, the density of the arrow rain is 20 shots per second. Li Xiu's ring leadership burst out, and the system voice command, 3 meters to the left of the swamp, go around. The assassin marked the shadow ghost clone. The assassin flashed invisible, the red mark of the dagger flashed, the team's vision was clear, the mage's ice wall blasted to block arrows, and the fireball blasted the swamp to evaporate the acid mist. Everyone gasped, and the fighting archer's eyes widened. Guild Master. Is there a ring god of dominance? Trap prediction is 100%, our DPS is as stable as an old dog, and the team exceeds 1,000 per second. 100 meters deep, a group of shadow ghosts pounced on him, with a health bar of 1500 and a defense of 25. The shadows sucked blood and the black mist choked his nose. Li Xiu Tai's sword waved, and he charged up a commanding blow, spread out the output positions, archer sniper, mage AoE. The wolf fang necklace flashed with a critical hit, and the sword light pierced the shadow ghost's head like electricity, with a critical hit of 389. Chu Tian's shield collided and shouted, "Hold on." The team's damage appears, the president's one hit penetrates 150%. The new blood output exploded, the shadow ghost wailed and shattered, and the black mist dissipated. The priest's milk volume is 70 per second, and the team's health line is rock solid. Onlookers rubbed their eyes and screamed, "Impossible. They have 0 casualties in the trap area." Li Xiu's command is like a god, the shadow ghost group is cleared in seconds, and the DPS panel is 8,000 plus per minute. The boss room in the middle section is guarded by a giant stone statue. Earthquakes rumbled when it was hit, and gravel splashed and hit the face painfully. Chu Tian lost 500 blood and was on the verge of kneeling. Brother Xiu, the defense of the stone statue is 40, and the armor-piercing damage is 150 per second. The taunts were overwhelming, the overlord is finished. The full AoE map of the stone statue, a group of 20 people also kneels. Li Xiu burst away with an agility of 18, walking in ghostly circles, dual-wielding the Fang dagger plus iron sword, commanding a continuous attack, double critical hit 780. The stone statue stood stiff, the team swarmed, the mage blasted the lava with both ice and fire skills, and the archer fired a series of headshots. The stone statue shattered suddenly, dropping shadow crystal X10. Li Xiu picked it up and sneered, "Push to the ultimate." Ye Zhi's purple eyes flashed with admiration, and her voice trembled slightly. "President, your leadership is 15 and your motivation is high, and your tacit understanding is 90%. You are the chosen commander." In the ultimate abyss, the Shadow Demon Guardian arrives. Level 20 boss, with a health bar of 10,000, black wings flapping like a cold wind like knives, claws glowing green, and a corrosive smell that makes you cough. The roar shook the gravel on the roof of the cave. "Intruder, die." The first wave of shadow-eating black mist exploded, the team's health bar dropped by 400, and the new blood screamed and collapsed, "I can't hold back." The boss sucks 250 blood per second, defense 45, either penetration rate is low. Chu Tian's shield shattered, and he knelt down and gasped, "Brother Xiu, you can't hold on." Mo Fan, a passerby, called us to give us the first kill. The onlookers laughed wildly, "The new guild is kneeling." The shadow demon goes berserk, the whole group is in a pile of corpses in seconds. Despair overwhelmed him, Li Xiu's ring of dominance shone brightly, his intelligence exploded to 25, and his voice was like thunder, "The priest focuses on me." Chu Tian breaks his leg, the assassin bursts his anus, and outputs the lock vest. The bow technique synchronizes and explodes in 3 seconds. He jumped up and burst out with agility, dual-wielding weapons intertwined, and struck the shadow demon's eye socket with a commanding blow, boom. Critical hit 1120. The boss's health bar dropped by 11%, and he whined, turned around, and swiped the wind like a whip whipping the air. Li Xiu rolled and dodged, anticipating the arc of his claws, his dagger blocked with a golden sound, and his sword stabbed back into the heart. The total damage in the combo was 1890. The team keeps up, the archer's DPS is 130 consecutive shots, the mage's ice and fire storm is 3000 per second, and the priest's milk is pouring like rain. The shadow demon was furious, shadow clones were scurrying around, the poisonous black mist choked his lungs, Chu Tian was hit with DOT and lost blood, Li Xiu instantly inserted, Legion Protection. The ring skill was preheated, the command range buff was fully activated, the team defense plus 20%, and the output plus 20%. The boss has 30% blood left, and the chains of the summoned shadow prison clatter and entangle. The 3 new bloods are trapped in the blood and go crazy, Guild Master, help. The taunt reaches its peak, T of the whole group, the first kill is a dream. Li Xiu's eyes are crazy, and the power is at full 16. The iron sword slashes the chain and sparks explode, the poisonous fangs pierce the boss's weak point, the critical hit flashes like thunder, and the output in a single round is 2800. Death. Shadow Demon knelt down and roared. In the end, Shadow Devourer's blood-sucking function failed. The team's DPS soared to 20,000 per minute. Li Xiu's command ended with one blow. The sword pierced his throat and blood gushed out, and the boss suddenly collapsed. The system's entire server announced a golden light reaching the sky, first kill in the entire server. The Overlord Dynasty team killed the Shadow Cave and Shadow Demon Guardian. Team experience plus 10,000, reputation plus 50. Dropped, Empire Commander Job Transfer Scroll X1, Shadow Demon's Heart X1, Intelligence plus 15. Chu Tian excitedly planned, Brother Xiu, recruit. The village channel shouted, Dynasty of Overlord recruits elites, welfare iron or sharing, blue equipment distribution. The channel exploded, casual people swarmed, and 5 top players joined, Crazy Battle Archer DPS 90, Mage Ice and Fire dual skills, Assassin Stealth King, Priest Milk capacity 50 per second, Tank Shield defense 35. They entered the camp, stared at Li Xiu's panel, and were shocked in unison, President, level 12, strength 16. Did you wear the necklace dropped by the Wolf King, 50% critical hit? I'm following you, conquer the server. Chu Tian laughed, the first batch of 5 Tiger Generals, their power has taken off. Mo Fan Alliance dares to come, the team will be destroyed. The cave trembled, the treasure chest exploded, Li Xiu picked up the scroll, and everyone sat down and gasped. Chu Tian stared at him, his voice trembling like a sieve, Brother Xiu, killed the level 20 boss for the first time, and the team DPS exceeded 30,000. You commanded the divine level of prediction, all 3 skills of Shadow Demon flashed, and controlled the monster. The 5 Tiger Generals knelt down, and the fighting archer burst into tears, President, the leader of the ring plus your agility 18, we are invincible. The announcement of the whole server exploded, and the reputation is number 1. Ye Zhi's purple eyes were shining, and she bit her lip, change your job, President. The road to cross-server is open. The new blood cried, worship. Li Xiu Shen, conquer the whole server. Li Xiu pinched the scroll, wrapped in golden light, and the system rang loudly, job transfer successful. Imperial Commander, hidden profession, all attributes plus 20, new panel, strength 36, agility 38, intelligence 35, stamina 31, unlocks Legion summoning LV1, summons 10 void soldiers, lasts 5 minutes, DPS single target 100. The attribute sword, the air buzzed with energy, he swung out his sword, the void split open, and the soldiers lined up with swords flashing. The scattered people around rushed into the cave and knelt down, God profession. 36 strength. Level 12 full level value, new village legend. The guild channel was filled with excitement, and 20 people shouted in unison, long live the commander. Build an empire and swallow all the servers. The arrows rained down like a storm, clanking against the stone wall, sparks flying, and the smell of meat from the campfire was instantly replaced by the smell of gunpowder and blood. The fighting butcher raised his axe high, his body as strong as an iron tower, and roared so loudly that the wine glass shattered. Puppy Li Xiu. President Mo Fan personally ordered that your level 1 doghouse be demolished and all the iron or wolf pelts taken away. Brothers, charge! A team of 20 people from the Mofan Guild ran wildly. The axe of the fighting forward was flashing cold, and the archers fired 15 rounds per second. The mage's fireball blasted the gap in the stone wall with a boom, and the gravel splashed and hurt his face, and the heat wave hit his face. In the camp, the faces of the new blood players turned pale, the wine glasses fell to the ground and smashed, and some people knelt down with soft legs. There are 20 enemies in total, the 8th level of the Mad Butcher has a strength of 28, and the axe-piercing armor is 300 plus per hit. We have just finished the first kill, and the tacit understanding is not yet stable, and we can't stop it. The 5 tigers broke the bowstring and buzzed, and the assassin's translucent hands shook. President, withdraw. They have priests to lock the blood, and we can't keep up with the milk supply in a long-term battle. Chu Tian's shield hit the ground, his face turned pale, and beads of sweat rolled down his temples. Brother Xiu, the reconnaissance panel shows that the enemy DPS is 12,000 per minute. They are targeting the iron mine depot. Defend first and then attack. Ye Zhi's purple eyes narrowed, the sleeves of her robe were swaying, and her voice was trembling. The sign buff deters the deceleration by 10%, but they are so numerous that we all kneeled down when the camp gate was broken. People gathered in the village to watch. Crowds of people swarmed and taunted them. The overlord dynasty is dead. It took only 5 minutes to kill the shadow demon for the first time, but it was stepped on by the Mo Fan alliance. The butchers were filled with hatred, their axes smashed their shields into pieces, and they took away the resource boxes to build a level 2 stronghold. The firelight illuminated everyone's desperate faces, arrows penetrated the stone wall, grazed the new blood's shoulders, blood blossoms exploded, and the pain was piercing, and the health bar dropped by 450. The guild channel kept wailing, "Guild Master, help." The anti-mage freezes to the ground and controls the field, and all our output positions are frozen. Li Xiu stood up, the Imperial commander hunted in golden robes, the shadow demon's heart had an intelligence of 35, and the ring of command had a faint golden glow. His eyes were as bright as fire, he sneered silently, and with a flick of his wrist, Legion summoning level 1 was activated. The void tore and buzzed, 10 shadow soldiers came out in formation, the swords were as cold as frost, the DPS was 100 for a single target, the health bar for each person was 2000, and the defense was 30. The soldiers roared and lined up at the camp gate, their axes and shields intertwined with the iron walls, and the smell of cold iron filled the air. Chutian's eyes widened, and his shield almost fell. Brother Xiu. Legion summons. Hidden professional magical skills, 10 NPC guards are full of tank, and the DPS exceeds 1,000 for 5 minutes. The new blood was stunned, and the mad battle archer's voice trembled. Fuck. The commander summoned, the panel showed that the soldier's armor was broken by 50%, the enemy's mad battle axe hit it and stung the sparks, and the bloodline did not move at all. We are saved. The fighting butcher smashed his axe down, making a loud rumbling sound that shook the ground. The soldier's shield was shattered into pieces but healed instantly. The hatred was stabilized, and he slashed back with a knife and hit 210. The butcher took half a step back, his health bar dropped by 25%, and he turned pale and shouted, "What the hell? NPC Legion? Li Xiu, you are cheating." With the blessing of blue equipment from the Ring of Dominance, the soldier output penetrates our armor. The enemy archers rained down arrows, and the soldiers lined up to block them. The mage blasted the soldiers with fireballs to evaporate the heat wave, but only lost 300 blood. Ye Zhi's purple eyes sparkled, golden light emerged from his hands, and the talent of the logo customizer was activated again. Guild President, optimize the buff. The golden dragon swallows the sky attack speed plus 10%, and the whole group panel jumps. The guild logo is suspended in the air, the dragon roars loudly, the golden scales are sharp, and the system prompts the screen, logo optimization successful. Team attack speed plus 10%, critical hit rate plus 5%, and the battle continues for 10 minutes. The 5 tigers accelerated their bowstrings with buzzing sounds, their continuous fire DPS soared to 120 per second, and their assassins flashed as frequently as ghosts. The tactics flashed in Chu Tian's mind, and he shouted the command, "Brother Xiu, ambush plan." Soldiers block the door, new blood guards the wall, 5 tiger generals will circle behind and outflank, my Lord Tan draws the hatred of the butcher, Ye Zhi controls the mark to slow down the enemy. The assassin attacks the back row priest. The team's tacit understanding is soaring. 95%, the command range of the Ring of Dominance 15 is fully open to 50 meters, and the voice is like thunder, execute. The soldier's sword formation advances, the enemy's forward hits the iron wall and is bloody and bloody, the butcher's axe will whirlwinds, and the 400 soldiers with armor-piercing injuries are blocked by the denial of milk. Chu Tian's shield collided with him, and cracks spread on the ground with huge force. Come on, butcher. Level 9 swordsman DPS 80+, I'll break your strength of 28. There was a constant ringing of gold, the butcher's axe broke and sparks flew, and the health bar dropped by 600. The scattered people onlookers screamed, Chu Tian God blocked, the butcher's panel strength dropped to 24, and he was slowed down by 10% and couldn't crawl. The overlord counterattacked. The fierce battle was fierce, Li Xiu activated his agility 38 ghost, the critical hit of the wolf fong necklace flashed at 50%, and he jumped out of the camp gate dual-wielding the iron sword plus poison fong dagger. The commanding attack charges up, the steps circle around to predict the arc of the butcher's axe, the air tears and hisses. Death. The sword light pierced the butcher's shoulder blade like electricity, with a critical hit of 1120. The green mist of the fang's deity chokes the nose and corrodes 80 per second. The butcher knelt down and howled, his eyes bulging with bloodshot eyes, Li Xiu. You, strength 36. A level 12 panel monster, with dual-wielding DPS of over 400, and one hit through my defense of 45. The enemy priest was dripping with milk but couldn't keep up. Li Xiu rolled and flashed fireballs, and the dagger exploded in his throat with a backhand, and the total damage in the combo was 1890. The butcher's corpse exploded with a bang, and the resource box dropped was shining with gold. The system prompted, kill Mo Fan's deputy and fight the butcher wildly, and get 2,000 gold coins and 500 iron ore. The enemy collapsed, and the archers retreated screaming, the vice president is kneeling. Li Xiu is invincible, the legionnaires are chasing us with 20,000 DPS per minute, retreat. Mo Fan's team was defeated, the soldiers cut off their tails with swords, and the resource boxes clanked to the ground. Li Xiu kicked open the lid of the box. The mountain of gold coins was dazzling with copper light, the iron ore was crystal clear, and the smell of or mixed with blood hit his nostrils. Everyone in the guild collapsed and gasped. Chu Tian stared at the resource box with red eyes, Brother Xiu, captured 5,000 gold coins and 1,000 ores in total. All 20 enemies were wiped out, and we had 0 casualties. Your legion summons plus logo buff, a divine combination. Ye Zhi's purple eyes were filled with admiration, and her voice trembled slightly. The president rushes in person, the butcher panel is 1 click away, the operation prediction is 100%, the whole server is gone people compare. The 5 tiger generals knelt down and worshipped, and the new blood shed tears, long live the commander. Kill the boss first and then kill Mofan's deputy. The reputation panel will jump plus 30, and the whole village will rush in and kneel down to lick it. There was a crowd outside the village, and passers-by players rubbed their eyes and screamed, the resource box is fat. The Overlord dynasty's iron ore stockpile has doubled, the LV2 stronghold has been established, Li Xiu has level 12 strength 36, I am so jealous. System-wide announcements for all servers. The Overlord dynasty repelled the Mo Fan Alliance's raid and captured the resource box. Guild reputation plus 50, team experience plus 5,000. Li Xiu's experience bar skyrocketed, and the upgrades continued from level 12 to level 25. The panel is off the charts, strength 56, agility 58, intelligence 55, endurance 51, all attributes crushing max level players. Legion summoning upgrades to LV2, which can summon 20 soldiers for 10 minutes. Chu Tian swallowed his saliva, level 25. 10 times more experience, commanding career growth monsters, and no one in the newcomer village can catch up. Li Xiu waved his hand, and resources were poured into the stronghold stone tablet. The building hummed in golden light and expanded, the stone wall was raised 3 meters, the arrow tower raised a crossbow machine, and the furnace was upgraded with blazing flames, the stronghold was upgraded to LV2. Defense plus 30%, daily iron ore production plus 200, recruitment limit plus 50. Individual elites flocked to apply, the panel flashed and stacked avatars, and the number of guild members reached 50 in the blink of an eye. The new blood warrior roared, join the overlord, and the president will lead him to conquer the server. Suddenly, Luo Li's private message popped up, and a silver-haired figure appeared in the camp, with purple eyes like stars. Ruler, the second ring is officially opened. The beginning of the empire, conquer the nearby neutral village, Ironstone Village, defeat the village chief's guard, and unlock the architect skill. Reward, guild token fragment X1, remaining April 5th May 5th, cross-server portal activation 50%. Taisher Village has resource veins, and NPCs are loyal to each other, which is the foundation of your empire. Li Xiu nodded, his ambition burning, assemble 50 people and go out tomorrow. Chu Tian planned the route, Ye Zhi optimized the mark defense, and the 5 tiger generals scouted. Everyone's blood boiled, the fire was rekindled, the smell of meat filled their nostrils, and the smell of alcohol filled the air, and they shouted, build the empire, swallow all the servers. The night wind in the camp blew away the gunpowder smoke, and the lights in the direction of Taisher village flickered, and the neutral forces' ambitions began to emerge. Suddenly, the server-wide system announcement rang out loudly, with a dazzling red light scrolling through the channel, the local server guild competition is about to begin. In 7 days, the top guilds will compete for local dominance, and the winner will be eligible to cross servers. Mo Fan Alliance publicly offers a reward, 10,000 gold coins for Li Xiu's head plus a rare blue suit. The village was buzzing with excitement, and some people whispered, is Mo Fan crazy? There is a reward for the commander, the bloody battle for hegemony begins, Li Xiu and all servers, the Mo Fan Alliance has gathered 100 people, and Taisher village has become the first battlefield. Chu Tian clenched his fists and looked fiercely, Brother Xiu, what's the reward? Our 50-man army, after the architect unlocks the stronghold level 3, annex Mo Fan. Ye Zhi locked Li Xiu with his purple eyes and whispered. President, Taisher village is a deep mystery. The village chief guards level 25 elites and hides the ruins of the empire. Your rule will shake the entire server. Li Xiu pointed his sword at the night sky, the dragon symbol of the golden dragon reverberated, the war spread to the mainland, and the ambition of the virtual empire was like a prairie fire. The morning light pierced the fog, the level 2 stronghold's arrow tower and crossbow machine flickered with cold light, the furnace roared and iron juice splashed everywhere, and the heat wave mixed with the aroma of burnt metal hit your nose. The 50 members of the guild lined up at the camp gate, the golden dragon logo hung high and the dragon roared low, and the blue light of the attack speed buff surrounded each person's panel. Li Xiu, the commander-in-chief of the empire, hunted in golden robes. All attributes on the level 25 panel were flashing. The golden light of the ring of command was faint. He pointed his sword in the direction of Taisher village, and his voice was like thunder, the whole group sets off. Conquer Taisher village, unlock the architect, and the foundation of the empire will be laid from today. Chu Tian is the forward, Ye Zhi is the logistics, and the 5 tiger generals scout, new blood guards the flanks. Everyone's blood was boiling, and their footsteps were clanging through the morning dew. The scattered people in the village looked at each other with envy. The overlord is fully staffed with 50 people, commanding the level 25 monsters, and the ghost of the village leader, the level 25 boss of Taisher village. Are they stable? I'm going to form a team to kill wild monsters. Halfway through the march, the shadows of the jungle squirmed, and the king of wild boars pressed like a black cloud. Hundreds of level 8 elite pigs ran wildly with red eyes, their sharp tusks tearing the air. The ground shook and dust flew, and the stench of rotten leaves filled with pig trotters was trampled. The leader Pig King's panel appears, health bar 5000, strength 32, collision DPS 250 per second, field control trample range 10 meters. The new player's face turned pale, and his lance shook like chaff. President. Tide of wild monsters. King Pig's hatred is locked, DPS is 30,000 per minute, our formation is broken up, T can't hold on. 5 tigers broke the bowstring and buzzed. With a trembling voice, the scout made a mistake. The tide speed is 1 per second 5 meters, even if the mark is slowed down by 10%, the pigs trample and control the whole group for 3 seconds. Chutian's shield hit the ground, and beads of sweat rolled down his livid face. Brother Xiu, the waves of enemies are stacking up, and Taisher village is still nowhere to be seen. Kneel to the Pig King first. The risk of dividing the troops to clear it up is high, and the mineral resources are in vain. The village channel ridiculed the situation, and passers-by players filled the screen with ecstasy. The overlord dynasty kills the shadow demon for the first time, and feeds pigs on the march. The Pig King breaks the armor, and the level 25 commander has to kneel. The dream of Iron Stone village is shattered. Ye Zhi's purple eyes shrank, the sleeves of her robe were waved, and her voice was trembling. The pig tide has high hatred for AI, the sign is buff, the amount of milk cannot keep up, and the new blood bar is as brittle as paper. The guild channel wailed repeatedly, and some people retreated with weak legs. Retreat? The DOT corrosion of the pigs is 50 per second, and we will be disabled in a long battle. The smell of pig manure was strong in the air, and the fangs scraped against the tree trunks and sawdust flew, and the hot blood instantly turned cold. Everyone stared at Li Xiu's back in despair. Li Xiu's eyes were as bright as fire. He sneered silently, and with a flick of his wrist, the Legion summoning level 2 was suddenly activated. The void tore with a loud buzzing sound, and 20 shadow soldiers came out in formation, with swords and shields on the cold iron wall. DPS single target upgraded to 120, health bar 2500, defense 35, and each person's armor was broken by 55%. The soldiers roared and charged, their swords were as bright as frost as they chopped down the pigs. Blood and flesh flew everywhere, and the pigs' howls echoed in the forest. Chu Tian's eyes widened, and his shield almost fell to the ground. Brother Xiu. LV2 Legion. 20 soldiers defended the monster. The Pig King collided with Ding Ding, and sparks flew everywhere, only losing 200 blood, and the hatred was completely stable. The new blood was stunned, and the pig blood spattered on his face was warm and fishy stinky. The 5 tigers accelerated their bowstrings and fired continuously, with DPS reaching 150 per second. The soldiers' knife array advanced, and the pig tide collapsed. The commander's magical skill, operating the predicted pig arc, the panel displayed the Legion for 10 minutes, and the total DPS exceeded 24,000. The tactics flashed in Chu Tian's mind, and he shouted the command, split the troops. The 5 tiger generals plus 10 new blood will clear the piggy on the left, my main tank plus soldiers will block the Pig King, Ye Zhi's symbol optimizes speed control, and the assassin will blast the Pig King's back row. The team's tacit understanding soared by 98%, and they dominated the team. The command range of Ring Leadership 18 was expanded to 60 meters, and the thunderous voice said, execute. The soldier shield formation and the iron wall Pig King hit the rumbling ground, and cracks spread on the ground. The Pig King's health bar dropped by 800, but the backlash was crushed by the knife net, and fangs and sparks flew away. Golden light emerged from Ye Zhi's hands, and the talent of the logo customizer was reactivated. Guild President, the buff is upgraded. The Golden Dragon Guardian defense plus 15%, the whole group panel is beating. The dragon's roar of the guild logo is deafening, and the golden scale system refreshes the screen. Logo optimization. Team defense plus 15%, pig tide slows down by 20%, lasting 15 minutes. The pigs crawl like snails, the archers rain down arrows and burst blood, and the assassin flashes a ghostly dagger with a throat-blasting critical hit of 500. The pig tide was wiped out, the pig king knelt down and howled, Li Xiu jumped up ghostly with 62 agility, the wolf fang necklace's critical hit flashed at 65%, and the iron sword plus poison fang dual-wielding command charged up one strike. Anticipating the pig's arc with his footsteps, the air tore and hissed, destroy. The sword light pierced the pig's neck with a critical hit of 1560. Venom fang dot green mist choking nose corrosion 100 per second. The pig king's corpse exploded, dropping 5 pig king skins and 1500 gold coins. The system prompts, kill the pig king tide for the first time, gain 8000 experience, and gain plus 300 resources. Chu Tian swallowed his saliva and stared at him with red eyes. Brother Xiu, kill the boss with one hit? DPS is 500 plus per second, all attributes are crushed, Pig King has 32 strength and you have 60 defense penetration. Ye Zhi's purple eyes worship the water light, and her voice trembled slightly. The commander-in-chief rushes personally. The prediction is 100%, the Legion plus the logo god cooperate, 0 casualties and clear tide, we are invincible. The lights of Iron Stone Village are in sight, the stone walls are mottled with vines, the neutral NPC villagers have dull eyes, and the ghost of the village chief appears on the panel. Level 25 elite boss, 8000 health bar, ghost form ignores 50% of physics, frost breath DPS 300 per second, range control freezes for 5 seconds. There are 10 NPC warriors guarding the entrance of the village, with a strength of 28 axes and shields. A few passers-by watched from a distance and whispered, the ghost of Iron Stone Village Chief. The overlord is here. The boss ignores physics. The mage's milk cannot stop the freezing and the whole group is kneeling. The new member of the guild has weak legs. Guild President, the ghost of the boss has high resistance and can be slashed by the Legion's sword. Air. The village chief's breath freezes the DPS to 0, we can't hold it back. Chu Tian's face turned pale, and he was sweating while holding his shield tightly. Brother Xiu, the investigation shows that the boss moves at a speed of 12 meters per second, and the freezing chain locks 3 people. It will last forever. Li Xiu snorted, and the Legion summoned another 20 soldiers to rush to the village gate. The sword struck the guard Ding Dang Mars, breaking armor and piercing the ghost resistance. The ghost of the village chief screamed and jumped out, the ice fog filled the air and the chill was biting, freezing 3 new blood and losing 400 of his health bar. Ye Zhi screamed, field control is coming. Signal deterrence slows down. Chu Tian commanded and roared, soldiers block the boss, the 5 tigers will break the ice arrows, I draw hatred, Ye Zhi optimizes the anti-freeze. A fierce battle broke out, the soldiers' knife net suppressed the ghost form, DPS was 15,000 per minute, and the boss's health bar dropped by 20%. The village chief blasted the soldiers with ice breath, which evaporated the white mist, but instantly replenished 2,500 health points. The Chu Tian shield collided with him and blasted him with great force. Level 9 swordsman strength 45, break your ice armor. There was a golden clang, and the boss retreated and lost 600 health points. Li Xiu jumped in with both hands, commanding a blow with his fangs to pierce the core of the ghost, quickly predicting the ice arc, and a critical hit of 1980. The green mist deity choked his nose and melted the frost, and the boss howled and his eyes bulged. Commander of humanity. Your strength is 68. Dual-wielding DPS broke 600, and the Legion broke my resistance by 65%. The soldiers counterattacked with swords in a rainstorm, and the boss knelt down and exploded the blue light building blueprints. The whole system announced that the golden light reached the sky. The overlord dynasty conquers Taisher village. Defeat the ghost of the village chief, unlock the architect skill tree, collect 5/5 guild tokens, and activate the cross-server portal by 50%. Experience plus 10,000, resources doubled. Li Xiu's experience skyrocketed, and Ding Ding was promoted to level 35. The panel is full: strength 78, agility 82, intelligence 75, endurance 70, legion level 3 ready. Ye Zhi's purple eyes sparkled, and she touched the stone tablet with golden light and injected it with her hands. President, I managed the transformation. The sign is bound to the sub-base, and the resource output is doubled. The village hummed and expanded, the iron and stone veins bloomed crystal clear, the daily iron ore plus 500, the farmland is green and the food plus 300, the NPC villagers knelt down to show their allegiance and their eyes were crazy. Long live the Overlord Commander. Guild channel applications exploded, top players' avatars piled up, and individual elites screamed, the reputation of the Golden Dragon logo is buffed by 20%, join. The commander ranks first in the whole server at level 35, and the architect unlocks the L3 stronghold securely. The number of people exceeded 100 in the blink of an eye, and the total combat power plus 30% panel jumped. Suddenly, smoke and dust billowed outside the village. Mo Fan's team of 30 people came out to harass and attack. Archers rained down arrows. The mage's fireballs blasted the farmland and the heat wave hit his face. The leading assassin smiled sinisterly. Li Xiu is a bastard, he has the bounty on his head. Seize the veins and burn the village. The new blood exclaimed, Mo Fan is here again. 30 people are full, DPS is 20,000 per minute, we have just taken the position and are not yet firm. Chu Tian clenched his fists and looked fiercely, Brother Xiu, fight back. The legion is chasing. Li Xiu pointed his sword, the soldiers advanced in formation, and reaped the enemy's tail with the light of his sword. He flashed fireballs, commanding an assassin to hit 2,200 critical hits in one hit. The enemy collapses and retreats, dropping the mine coordinates. Li Xiu started resource exploration at level 2 and led the team to attack the enemy mine. The stone gate blasted open the gold mine and the copper was dazzling. He captured 2,000 iron ore. The camp was celebrating with a roaring fire, the smell of meat and the smell of wine. Chu Tian raised his glass, Brother Xiu, are you trying to summon the legion? Mo Fan will also kneel down when he comes. Li Xiu summoned the soldiers, the sword formation was fierce, and everyone's eyes were red and hot. Suddenly, the sound of killing outside the stone wall was loud. A team of 20 people from Mo Fan's guild made a surprise attack. The butcher's axe was raised high, and he smiled ferociously, newcomer guild, get out of the local server. Guild leader Mo Fan personally ordered that your stronghold be demolished, and the iron ore will be ours. Arrows pierced the air, the stone wall shattered, and sparks flew, and the war was about to break out. As night falls, the aroma of meat from the fire at the ironstone branch base fills the nostrils. Luo Li's silver-haired shadow appears, with deep purple eyes, ruler, the second ring is perfect. Collect the guild tokens, cross-server portal 50%, but activation requires all 5 elements of imperial weapons. The first, Earth Spirit Emperor Cauldron, is hidden deep in the local copy, Netherworld Mine, Guardian 40 the super legendary boss. Mo Fan has moved, and on the eve of the competition, the imperial weapon is the key. Your ambition will lead to bloodshed. Li Xiu's eyes were burning, and the golden dragon roared as he clenched his sword. There was a storm outside the village, a dark atmosphere was looming in the direction of the mine, and the crisis was brewing in the country. The whole server was focused on the Overlord dynasty, and the war was about to break out. The flames of the iron and stone sub-base are swaying, the barbecue fat is dripping from the iron rack and the iron rack is sizzling. The rich aroma of meat mixed with the smell of iron ore and scorched earth is coming to your nostrils. Hundreds of people from the guild are sitting around the bonfire. The experience bar on the panel is buzzing and jumping wildly. The health bars of new blood players are filled up, and the equipment repairs are shining. Li Xiu hunted with his golden robe cross-legged, the golden light of the ring of command pulsating. He tapped the void interface with his finger, and the system prompted the screen, Architect Skill Tree unlocked. LV1 Building Acceleration plus 20%, Resource Output plus 15%, Sub-Base Iron Stone Village Daily Iron Ore 550, Food 320, NPC Loyalty 100%. Legion Call Upgrade Reserve Level 3, Duration plus 5 minutes, Number of Soldiers x 1.5. Strength 78, Agility 82, all attributes exploded. The gold edge of the surface flashed, the red light of the wolf fang necklace was faint, the critical hit was 65%, and the green mist shrouded the blade of the venomous fang dagger. He whispered, Resource Exploration Level 2 Scan, the ore vein expanded 50 meters, the total iron ore was broken 4,000, and the gold coins were 6,500. The guild limit has been increased by 150, and the next wave will recruit top individual people. Chu Tian gnawed the meat with big mouthfuls, oil juice dripping down his beard. He stared at Li Xiu's panel with wide eyes and a trembling voice, Brother Xiu, the best in the whole server at level 35. The architect unlocked the total combat power plus 40%, and summoned 20 plus 10 soldiers at Legion level 3. DPS single target broke 180, HP 2500 tanks, our locals are invincible. We just took away 2,000 iron ore from Mofan Mine, and he is kneeling down. Ye Zhi's purple eyes were shining, the sleeves of his magic robe were flickering in the light of Li Xiu's arms, and her sweet voice was trembling. Guild Master's calculation, logo optimization defense plus 15%, slowdown 20%, binding the iron and stone buff increases the movement speed of the whole group by 10%. New bloods, applications for reputation plus 100 are overwhelming, and there are a lot of S-level player avatars. The 5 tigers knelt down and punched their chests, shouting, Long live the commander. The pig tide has 0 injuries, the village chief's ghost is in seconds, and the enemy mine is full of fat. Predict the operation. God, who can stop me with 800 plus DPS? A new player rubbed his eyes and swallowed his head in jealousy. I earn 100 gold per month as a solo player. The iron ore production here is thousands per day. It's worth joining. The blue light of the commander's equipment is dazzling. The ring of command leads to 18 command in 60 meters. The team's output is a divine buff. The guild channel filled the screen with excitement, and passers-by commented with envy. The golden dragon symbol of the overlord dynasty is stunned by the dragon's roar, the iron and stone sub-base NPC kneels and licks, the resources are monopolized in the local area, and the Mofan iron-blooded alliance's mines are dead. The popcorn of the bonfire was crisp in the air, and the night wind brought a low howl of wolves from afar. The top 3 guilds in the whole server will compete in the competition. The winner will receive the Fire Emperor Artifact Fragment, cross-server portal activation plus 20%, 50,000 experience points, and blue equipment x3. Sign up for the Mofan Iron-Blooded Alliance and there will be a reward of 10,000 gold for your head. He stood up with a sneer and hunted in golden robes, the rest is over. Chu Tian, plan a 3-line strategy, Ye Zhi's internal buff optimization mark, Li Xiu's attack on the core, Mofan's clone will be killed. The 5 tigers will flank the guards, and the new blood will guard the home. In the competition for hegemony, crush them, and get the imperial weapon. Everyone's blood was boiling, their footsteps were clanging in formation, and the embers from the fire were flying like stars. The golden announcement of the whole server system exploded, and the dazzling golden letters swept across the field of vision. The local guild competition begins. The arena, Fire Hell Wasteland, is loaded, the Overlord Dynasty vs the Iron-Blooded Alliance, the viewing frequency is fully activated. The beam of teleportation buzzed and rose, hundreds of people teleported to the flaming hell, Heat waves rolled in and dust hit their faces, lava fissures pulsed with red light, the stench of sulfur choked their noses, and the air twisted and the heat waves burned their skin. The boss on the altar in the center of the arena appears, the level 38 legendary Fire Demon King, with a health bar of 20,000, fire rain DPS of 500 per second, area burning DOT of 100 per second, and movement speed of 18 meters. The Mofan Iron-Blooded Alliance was fully formed with 200 people in formation, the black iron symbol was in the sky, the average level of the panel was 25, the archers' fire arrows were buzzing with momentum, and the mage's fire wall rumbled up. Mo Fan's clone appeared riding a flaming wolf, the level 30 assassin's panel flickered, the purple-edged dagger glowed with poison, and he shouted with a sinister smile, "Bastardly show. I'll remember it from the iron or mine, I'm offering a bounty of 10,000 gold and blue equipment. I'll behead you on the field today." The total DPS of Iron-Blooded is 100,000 per point, and you have hundreds of people kneeling down. Passers-by watching the battle on the village channel were bombarded with barrages. Wow, Mo Fan has a full complement of 200 people, and the average equipment is green light. The Fire Demon King boss has enough milk to block it, and the Overlord only has 100 people. The commander is level 35 but has few people. The flanks are outflanking and the dream is shattered. Rain of fire. The whole team's DOT kneels down. The new member of the guild's face turned pale, and his shield shook like chaff. "President, there are 200 enemies on the battlefield, the fire wall has a field control range of 30 meters, our movement speed can't keep up, and the DPS is out of gear." Chu Tian's livid face was covered with sweat, and the shield was smashed. The sound of the ground, "Brother Xiu, 3 lines of reconnaissance tactics for the enemy are launched. Main CMO Fan's clone has 600 plus DPS. We are at a disadvantage. Will the Balrog be locked on hatred and kneel down first?" Ye Zhi's purple eyes narrowed, and the robe hunter said, "The sign deterrence deceleration is activated by 20%, but the enemy bow rain deals thousands of injuries per second, but the buff is not enough." The air in the whole group was stagnant, and the lava exploded and the heat wave burned their faces. Everyone stared desperately at the back of Li Xiu's golden robe. Mo Fan's clone smiled and waved, and the fire arrows poured down like locusts. Ding Ding's health bar dropped by 200. Li Xiu's eyes burned, he snorted silently, flipped his wrist to summon level 3 legion and exploded. The void tore and the loud noise shook the sky. 30 shadow soldiers were arrayed on the iron wall, the sword shield was cold, the DPS was 180, the health bar was 2,500, the defense was 40 and the armor was broken 60%, and the roaring charge was as bright as frost. The soldier's shield collided with the wall of fire and sparks flew everywhere, the armor penetrated the Balrog's shield, and the DPS dropped 15% of the health bar per 30,000 points. Chutian's eyes widened as his buckler almost fell to the ground, and he roared tremblingly, "Brother Xiu. 30 soldiers of the LV3 Legion. Tanda monsters, fire and rain Ding Dang only dropped 300, full of hatred, divine prediction." The new blood was dumbfounded, and the fire arrows splashed on the face, and the 5 tigers broke the bowstring and buzzed and fired continuously, the soldiers pushed into the sword net, and the enemy archer's health bar exploded. The commander-in-chief switched to the Empire commander with all skills activated, and the total DPS exceeded 50,000. Chu Tian flashed the tactics and shouted, 3 lines of execution. Ye Zhi's signature buff is fully activated, defense plus 20%, slowdown 25%, my main tank plus soldiers block the boss, the 5 tigers will outflank and clear the enemy, and the new blood bows and rain will suppress it. The team's tacit understanding is 100%, the ring of control leadership 20, command range 80 meters, voice thunder, charge. The iron wall of the soldiers pressed against the Balrog, the thunder of fire evaporated the white mist but instantly replenished the blood, the Chutian shield collided with the power 50 giant blast, level 9 swordsman breaks your fire armor. Ding Jin boss retreated 800. Ye Zhi's hands were filled with golden light, and the dragon's roar was deafening, golden dragon guardian upgrade. Teen critical hit plus 10%, fire resistance plus 30%, lasting 20 minutes. The guild panel pulsed with blue light, and the whole group's DPS soared. Mo Fan's clone ghost jumped and stabbed Li Xiu. The purple blade poison light DPS 700 arc was predicted, die. Critical hit penetrates the defense. Li Xiu's agility was 90 ghost flash, the iron sword plus poisonous fang dual-wielding command charged one blow, the air was torn and hissed, and the footsteps predicted the poison arc, destroy. The sword light pierced the neck with a critical hit 2500. The green mist dot corrodes 150 points per second, Mo Fan's clone's eyes bulge, howl and corpse explode, and blue equipment fragments drop. System brush, behead Mo Fan's clone. 5000 experience, plus 50 reputation. The iron-blooded alliance collapsed, and the archers retreated screaming, Commander, dual-wielding DPS 1000 plus. The legions broke through our wall of fire, outflanked and wiped out all. The 5 tigers rained arrows and blood, the soldiers cut off their tails with sword nets, and the enemy corpses lay across the field with bloody brimstone. After 3 hours of fierce fighting, the sand and dust of the fire hell were stained with blood, the fire demon king's health bar was reduced to 5%, and the fire and rain poured down and the heat wave steamed, locking the entire group. Xin Shui's legs were weak, the boss's violent DPS is 800, let's kneel down. Chu Tian was livid with sweat, brother Xiu, hatred is flying everywhere. Li Xiu leaped up to dodge the critical hit with 75% of the wolf's fangs, combined the commanding strike plus resource exploration with the imperial charge, and quickly predicted the arc of fire, full open. 30 soldiers surrounded and advanced, and the torrential rain of swords strangled the core of the boss, with a critical hit of 3200. The green mist of the fangs melted into the fire armor, and the boss knelt down and burst into red light, kill the fire demon king for the first time. Fire Emperor Weapon Fragment X1, Experience 50,000, Blue Equipment X3. Cross-server portal activation 70%. Li Xiu Ding Ding has been promoted to level 38, all attributes are plus 50 off the charts, Strength 128, Agility 132, Intelligence 125, Endurance 120, Legion Level 4 ready. The golden announcement of the whole server reaches the sky, the Overlord dynasty wins the local championship. The fragments of the Fire Emperor weapon are attributable, the reputation of the guild across all servers is plus 200, and the number of applications is exploding. The remnants of the iron-blooded alliance knelt down and surrendered. Mo Fan looked pale from a distance, Li Xiu's monster. The legion was suppressed by 100 people, with a total DPS of 200,000, and our 200 people were destroyed with 0 casualties. The guild channel went crazy, top players poured into the avatar stack, the number of people exceeded 500 in the blink of an eye, and the total combat power plus 60% panel jumped wildly. Ye Zhi's purple eyes shed tears of admiration, and she supported Li Xiu, the president is invincible. The fragments of the imperial weapon are combined with earth and fire, and the third ring is stable. Chu Tian knelt down and punched the ground, brother Xiu, crush him with divine tactics in 3 hours, transfer to full-service legions, and the foundation of the empire is ironclad. In the victory celebration, the flames of the hell were blazing, and the meat-scented gold coins were clanging for dividends. The new blood worshippers shouted, Commander level 38, all attributes are 130 plus. The upgrade of the blue-equipped Wolf Fong has a critical hit of 80%, and the DPS monster is 1500. It is worth adding. Passers-by watched the battle and screamed with jealousy, the Overlord has 500 golden dragons, he has obtained resource monopoly firearms, and Mo Fan is iron-blooded. It's over, all servers kneel. Luo Li's silver-haired silhouette appeared, her purple eyes approving, ruler, the third ring is opened. The Earth Spirit Emperor Cauldron plus Fire Elemental Fragments, the 5 elements gather together and the portal is fully opened. But before she could finish her words, black mist rolled into the server-wide channels, and the announcement of Mo Fan's remnants of the joint gold server, Sky Empire, exploded, iron-blooded alliance merges with Sky Vault. Cross-region revenge, Li Xiu's head is worth 50,000 gold. Activate the cross-server portal and bloodbath the overlord. In the distance, the space crack in the sky hummed and purple light loomed, and the sinister wind filled the sky with murderous intent. Chu Tian's face turned pale. Brother Xiu, master of the Golden Service. Conspiracy of the Portal, level 40 legend surges. Li Xiujian holds the golden dragon and roars, his eyes are burning, crisis is brewing in the local area, and war is imminent across servers. The celebratory fire in the Hell Wasteland burned brightly, with embers fluttering and flying like blood-red stars. The meat juice and grease dripped onto the iron frame and sizzled. The pungent stench mixed with sulfur and scorched earth assaulted the nostrils, making new players' stomachs churn. The crisp sound of gold coins jingling and dividends should have excited the blood, but it was suppressed by the black mist rolling announcement on the server-wide channel, Iron-Blooded Alliance merges with Sky Empire. Cross-region revenge, Li Xiu's head is worth 50,000 gold. Activate the cross-server portal and bloodbath the Overlord dynasty. The space cracks in the sky buzzed and hummed, purple light loomed like a devil's eye, and the sinister wind stirred up sand and dust, causing pain on the cheeks. The cheers of the 500 people in the guild's formation came to an abrupt end. The shields fell to the ground with a clang. The new blood turned pale and knelt down with weak legs. The blood bar was weak and trembling. Sky Empire. The first guild in the Golden Server. The 40th level Legendary Legion has a DPS of 500,000 per minute. The average equipment flashes with purple light. Our local 500 people have a combat strength of 10,000. They crossed the portal and carried out a wave of bloodbath. The Commander-in-Chief 50,000 gold on the head, bounty on the whole server. The 5 tigers clenched their fists white, the bowstrings broke and buzzed, and their voices trembled like candles in the wind. Brother Xiu, the enemy alliance has more than 1,000 people, the boss Mount Flame Dragon has 50,000 blood points, and the Fire Breath DOT is 300 per second. Our Legion level 330 soldiers can't stop it, and the Iron and Stone sub-base will be cut off overnight. Beads of sweat rolled down Chu Tian's livid face, and the shield hit the ground with a muffled sound, causing sand and dust to fly. Brother Xiu, there is a surge of financial experts. Investigation reports indicate that their trading network produces 10,000 units of iron ore per day and 500,000 gold coins. We have a monopoly on local resources but are at a tactical disadvantage due to the sea of people. Spies infiltrating the guild channel have become shady. Ye Zhi's violet eyes flashed, and the sleeves of her robe were hunted by the firelight. She hugged Li Xiu tightly, but her fingertips were cold and trembling. President, the logo optimization defense of 20, acceleration and deceleration of 25 is not enough. The Sky Empire Purple Dragon logo territory expansion buff leads all servers. Our reputation is booming, but the hearts of the people are floating, and the new blood's withdrawal application is buzzing. The guild panel flashes red, the number of members drops from 500 to 50 in the blink of an eye, and the channel wails like a death knell. Brothers, the cross-server portal is activated at 70, and Sky's level 40 assassin instantly kills the commander. We are so fragile, quit the club to save our lives. The barrage of passers-by watching the battle was like a black cloud. The Overlord is dead. Mo Fan joins forces with the Sky for revenge. The fire fragment is obtained, but the sect has a conspiracy. The commander of a level 38 DPS with 1,500 is awesome, but he is alone. The local server has fallen, and the Empire's dream is shattered. Li Xiu hunted in the golden robe, the golden light of the ring of control pulsated and whispered in a suppressed voice. He tapped the void interface with his finger, and the system prompts flashed across the screen like a cold iron chain. Cross-server portal energy fluctuation plus 10%, Sky Empire detects the local area, spy infiltration risk 100%, guild loyalty loss minus 15%. Warning for the third ring of the hidden mission. Earth Spirit Emperor Cauldron plus Fire Elemental Fragments, 5 elements shortage Water Elemental Emperor Weapon, otherwise the door will be wide open for enemy invasion. He frowned, eyes burning with ambition, and said coldly, teleport back to the Iron Stone headquarters. The rest is over, and the crisis situation must be accelerated. The teleportation beam buzzed and rose, and the 500 remnants teleported to Ironstone Village. The night wind howled and the smell of scorched earth from the iron mine hit their faces. The eyes of the NPC guard at the entrance of the village moved. Yao whispered, "The ruler, the shadow of the sky is shrouded, and the destruction of the country is imminent." The torch of the sub-base is swaying gloomily, the iron ore in the resource warehouse is piled up but covered with dust, the food barrel has a pungent musty smell, and the daily output is 550 iron ore and 320 food. The red text on the panel flashes, loyalty 95, output minus 10%. The stone wall in the Ironstone headquarters hall was cold, and the blue flames of the brazier danced faintly, reflecting the pale faces of everyone. Li Xiu spread out his golden robes cross-legged, and the panel exploded with strength 128, agility 132, intelligence 125, stamina 120, crit of the wolf fang necklace 80, the red light faintly glowing. He roared, fragments of the Fire Emperor artifact plus 3 pieces of blue equipment. Architect LV-1 is fully activated to upgrade the headquarters. The golden light of the system boomed, headquarters is upgraded to LV-4 Empire prototype. Building acceleration is 30%, resource output is 25%, daily iron ore is 800 and food is 500, Legion summons L4 reserve soldiers 40, guild limit is 700, defense tower unlocks DPS of 500 and has a range of 50 meters. The hall trembles and stone chips rustle, the golden dragon relief on the wall roars loudly, and the territorial expansion buff pulsates faintly. But Chu Tian's eyes widened but his voice trembled, "Brother Xiu, the prototype of the level 4 empire is awesome, but there are only 3,000 gold coins left, 3,500 iron ores, and the total DPS allocated to blue equipment exceeds 20,000. Our combat power is still 10 times less than Sky Dome, and the spies who are investigating them have been mixed up. New blood." The new blood rubbed his eyes and turned to fear, and Tun Mo whispered, "The commander is equipped with a blue light glaring command ring, and the 20 command has an 80-meter god buff, but the purple-armed army in the sky has 3,000 HP and 300 DPS per target, and our logistics is at a loss." Ye Zhi's purple eyes narrowed, and the golden light in her hands surged through the logo interface. She said with a trembling voice, "President, I have optimized the Golden Dragon logo to unlock territory expansion. Defense is 25, slowdown, 30, fire resistance, 35, critical hit, 15, lasts for 25, territory expanded by 50 meters, resources plus 20%. The dragon roared in the logo, and golden light enveloped Taisher village for 100 meters. The inner ghost has reported the coordinates, and all the transmission records from the flame prison have been exposed. The 5 tiger generals knelt down and punched their chests with a sound like muffled thunder, and roared hoarsely, "Commander, clean up inside." The new blood's eyes dodge, and the 3 of them are sneaky. Li Xiu stood up with a cold snort, and quickly predicted and dodged with his fang dagger surrounded by green mist, and 3 black shadow assassins burst out. The purple blade DPS struck in an arc of 600, "Death, you inner ghost." The iron sword command tore through the air and hissed with one blow, crit 2,500 green mist DOT 180 per second, 3 corpses exploded with a bloody stench, and the system brushed, "Clear MO fan spies." 3,000 experience points, loyalty plus 10%, and 5 shadow crystals dropped. The new blood's face turned pale and his legs were weak. The president predicted that the dual-wielding monsters would have a DPS of 1,500. The inner ghost killed them instantly, but the main force of the sky surged. Our hearts were shattered and we retreated to 300. Chutian's forehead was wet with sweat, and the sound of his shield hitting the table shook the hall. He roared with a livid face, "Brother Xiu, the third line of the local conquest plan, sweep away the neutral forces and seize the water-moving imperial weapon. I plan a flanking attack. The 5 tigers will attack the main sea, and the new blood guardian buffs are fully activated. However, the sky portal is fluctuating. The blood of the 40-level water demon boss is 25,000 DPS and 800. Our army's 40 soldiers are still ready. Everyone's air was stagnant. The blue flames of the brazier lengthened the shadow like ghost claws. Li Xiu nodded and his eyes burned. Execute. Luo Li NPC summons, the third ring advances. The silver-haired shadow appeared with deep purple eyes, and the air was bitingly cold. Ruler, the crisis is overwhelming, the water-moving imperial weapon is at the neutral water abyss ruins. Luo Li teaches the trade network LV1, the daily output of iron ore, 8,000 grains, 5,000 gold coins and 50,000 gold coins. System ding, trade network unlocked. Local monopoly plus 50%, guild strength exceeds 10,000. But Luo Li's voice turned cold. The spy removal only stopped the bleeding. The Sky Legion has locked the Iron Stone coordinates, and the portal energy is soaring. The torches of the guild's internal martial arts competition circled the arena. The sand and dust were flying in the Iron Stone village square and the swords were clanging. The elite selection legion should have been passionate, but instead it was shrouded in dark clouds. 300 of the 500 remnant troops joined the battle, and the new blood shields shook like leaves. The bounty in the sky is heavy on my heart, and our DPS of 80 is evenly lying on the gun. The 5 tiger generals killed 10 people in a row, their bowstrings buzzed, and their health bars exploded, shouting, "Commander, look at it, an elite army of 40 people has been formed." Chu Tianzhu. The tank shield collided with a loud noise, with a power of 50 armor breaking, and a DPS of 300 to suppress the opponent. 3-line tactical drill, flanked the water abyss. Li Xiu's golden robe watched the battle. The commanding ring pulsed, and the panel jumped. 40 soldiers of the Legion Level 4 were prepared with 3,000 DPS and 200 single targets. But midway, an elite player dodged his eyes and stabbed Ye Zhi, the remnants of the inner ghost. Li Xiu's agility was 132 ghost dodges, the Wolf Fong crit was 80, and the command hit was 3,200 headshots. Jean, President, another spy. The guild's hearts are in a state of flux, but its loyalty has dropped by 20 despite its strength of 10,000. The competition ended hastily, and an elite 40 legion was formed, with a total strength of 12,000. The blue light flashed, but there were many withdrawals, and there were only 450 members left. 350 people were gathered to teleport to the ruins of the abyss. The fog was cold and wet, and the water waves crashed on the shore. The blue light crystal pulsed eerily. The neutral force water monsters surged with level 35 blood, 1,500 DPS and 400 heads. The screams and ear-piercing water arrows were like rain, and the health bar dropped by 300. The new blood screamed and retreated. The water demon DOT is frostbitten at 150 per second, and the movement speed is 18. We can't control it. The sea of people kneels down. Chujian's shield formation hit the waves with a huge splash, and his face was livid and shouted, outflanked the 3 lines, the legion is called. Li Xiu's Legion Level 4 blasted the 40 soldiers' sword and shield Sinhan formation, with a total DPS of 80,000, breaking the water shield and sparks flying, but the Water Demon King boss appeared with level 40 blood, 25,000, water vortex range, 50 meters, suction movement speed, 30 DPS, 900, locking Li Xiu. The 5 tiger generals were raining arrows and blood, but their strings were broken. The boss field control god, we are outputting hatred and flying in random directions. Ye Zhi marked the dragon roar buff to fully activate the territorial expansion and water resistance plus 20, but the water waves were steaming and the heat wave burned the skin, and the whole group's health bar flashed with red lines. The milk volume could not keep up, and the new blood howled in despair. The sky portal buzzing is approaching, the enemy invasion of our homeland will be wiped out. After 2 hours of fierce fighting, the water abyss was stained with blue mist. The Water Demon King lost 10% of his blood. He violently blasted 250 DOTs per second to lock the logistics. Li Xiu leaped up to explore resources and merged with the Empire charge. He quickly predicted the vortex, destroy. Dual-wielding iron swords and poisonous fangs commanded a critical hit of 3,800 green mist corrosion. The soldier's knife network twisted the core boss and kneeled down to explode the blue light, first kill of the Water Demon King. Water Emperor Weapon X1, 80,000 experience points, purple equipment fragments. Cross-server portal activation is 85%. Li Xiu Ding Ding was upgraded to level 40, all attributes were plus 60, explosive strength was 188, agility was 192, intelligence was 185, stamina was 180, DPS was 2000 monsters. The guild's combat strength soared to 15,000, and the trade network activated the iron ore with a daily output of 8,000 gold coins and 50,000 gold coins. But the joy of victory did not fade away, and a dazzling red light announcement exploded across the server system. Cross-server portal energy fluctuates by 200%. The countdown to the invasion of the Sky Empire Legion is 1 hour, and the Overlord dynasty is locked in the homeland. The purple crack in the sky of Taishur village expanded, and the buzzing shook the sky, and the murderous wind was like a tide. Luo Li's shadow trembled with fear in his purple eyes. Ruler, the enemy is about to invade, prepare to fight. The 5 elements gathered together and opened the doors, otherwise the empire will fall. Chu Tian knelt on the ground and the shield fell to the ground with a trembling voice. Brother Xiu, there are 2,000 people in the golden suit with 5 combat powers. 100,000, we have 15,000 people, but the internal troubles have not been eliminated. Ye Zhi supported Li Xiu with tears flashing. President, the ambition is undying, but the dark clouds are overwhelming the city, and the hunting bounties are overwhelming across the server. The guild channel was full of grief, and the new blood stared at Li Xiu's golden-robed back with despair. The crisis was like a mountain, and war was about to break out across the servers. The blue mist blood of the Shuiyuan ruins was dyed crimson, and broken crystal shards crunched underfoot. The cold, wet mist mixed with fishy and putrid stench penetrated straight into the nose, causing stomach acid to surge up in the new blood player's legs, causing him to kneel down and gasp. The huge body of the boss corpse, the water demon, suddenly disintegrated. The crystal of the blue light imperial weapon pulsated and suspended in the air. The golden light of the system flashed across the screen and dinged harshly. The water-moving imperial weapon is obtained. The 5 elements convergence progress is 60%, the cross-server portal energy is locked in Taishur village, and the countdown to invasion is 59 minutes. The guild channel was wailing like a ghost crying and a wolf was howling, and the barrage was rolling in black. The Water Demon King's first kill is awesome, but the combat power of the 2,000 legions in the sky is 500,000, and the total DPS exceeds 1 million. Our 15,000-man sea tactics. The portal buzzes and shakes the soul. The coordinates of the iron and stone headquarters are all exposed, and there are only 350 left in the withdrawal. The 5 tigers broke the bowstring and buzzed. His fingers were bloodshot, his eyes were distracted as he stared at the expanding purple crack in the sky. The howling wind blew up the bloody dust and shaved his face painfully. Brother Xiu, the waterborne imperial weapon has been unlocked to double the trade and produce 8,000 iron ores and 50,000 gold coins per day, but the assassin in the gold suit teleports and locks the commander, and all the hatred is on you. Our fragile logistics can't withstand a wave of AoE. Chujian's shield hit the ground with a muffled thunderous noise, causing the water waves to splash up and hit his face with cold water droplets like needle pricks. Beads of sweat mixed with blood rolled down his livid face. His voice trembled like a candle in the wind. Brother Xiu, the 3-line outflank Shuiyuan has been won, but the last fortress of the mainland, the Black Iron Fortress, is still in the hands of neutral forces. Defend it. The 40-level Earth Demon of the Guardian boss has a HP of 30,000 DPS and a single Earth Thorn has a range of 60 meters. The 40 soldiers of our legion have a HP of 3,000 and cannot stop it. The countdown to the portal is so overwhelming that the heart is shattered. Ye Zhi's purple eyes flashed with tears, her robe was soaked and clinging to her body, and she hugged Li Xiu's arms tightly. The tips of his curved fingertips were cold and trembling, and he gasped and cried, "President, the expansion of the territory of the Golden Dragon symbol is not enough. The water resistance of 20 is not enough. The Black Iron Fortress Earth debuff has a movement speed of 40. We control the field and stop the gear. The new blood's eyes are desperate and the membership has reached 300. The reputation is soaring and recruiting people, but the whole server is hunting for 5 bounties. Thousands of gold heads. The barrage of passers-by was like a black cloud, and jealousy turned to fear. Li Xiu has a level 40 DPS with 2000 crits and an 80-year-old blue commanding ring divine equipment, but is it his luck to challenge the Water Demon King? The Sky's purple dragon logo buff leads the entire server, and the Overlord dynasty's homeland falls and the Empire's dream is shattered. Li Xiu hunted in his golden robe, the red light of the wolf-tooth necklace reflected the pulsating sword eyebrows, and his mind was like a storm. The 2,000 legions in the sky have a combat strength of 500,000, the portal has a countdown of 59 minutes, the inner ghost has been purged to stop the bleeding but its loyalty has dropped by 20%. The remaining guild's 350 troops have a combat strength of 15,000, which looks strong but is as brittle as paper, and a wave of fire breath deote evaporates the whole group at 300 per second. But his ambition burned his heart like a blazing flame. He tapped the void panel with his finger, and Resource Exploration Level 2 scanned the blue light of the Water Elevation Imperial weapon and fused it with the Fire Elevation fragments. The system whispered, Emperor Weapon Fusion. Attack plus 30, all attributes plus 20, unlock the clue to the Earth Spirit Emperor Cauldron, the core of the Black Iron Fortress. The psychological game is like lightning, retreating to the Iron Stone. The defense tower's DPS range of 550 meters cannot stop the sea of people. The trade network's daily output of 8,000 iron ore and 50,000 gold coins requires local monopoly to be stable, attacking black iron. The risky Earth Demon will explode the hatred in the field, but the local area will unlock the Empire Codex buff and all attributes will increase by 15%, and the guild's upper limit will be exceeded and 2,000 elites will be recruited to reverse it. The MO Fan Alliance's conspiracy exposed the coordinates and offered a reward of 50,000 gold. People's hearts are agitated. It is a good opportunity to kill people with a knife and clear away internal and external troubles. He sneered and whispered, his eyes blazing with ambition, Black Iron Fortress, attack at full speed. The last fortress of the mainland is captured, the 5 elements gather at the portal to counter-control. Chu Tian, fire attack trap layout, Ye Zhi, logistics is seamless, sign expansion is fully activated. The beam of teleportation buzzed and rose, and the remaining 350 troops teleported outside the Black Iron Fortress. The iron wall towered into the clouds and was shrouded in black mist. The stench of sulfur and scorched earth assaulted the nostrils. The earth cracked and earth spikes hissed out like poisonous snakes biting bones. The new blood bar dropped by 200 and screamed back, Earth debuff, movement speed, 40 DPS is halved, either average output is 80. The Guardian Earth Demon will absorb the hatred in the 42 level 30,000 Earth Vortex, and the sky portal will be buzzing, and the whole country will be wiped out. Chu Tian's eyes lit up, but his voice trembled, his shield hit the ground and dug a ditch, and the slime glue was splashed greasy, and he yelled, Brother Xiu's fire attack plan. Wolf King Skin. 5 Pig King skins piled up, and the fire fragments detonated the DPS to explode, flanking the 3-line 5 Tiger General C. The 5 tigers drew their bowstrings full of arrows and buzzed with arrows, and the health bar was weak and shaking. The commander is divinely calculated, the trap layout is awesome, but we can't break the Earth Demon General's Earth Shield with 100,000 health. Ye Zhi's golden light surged, marking the rise of Dragon Chance. Tang, territorial expansion of 50 meters, soil resistance plus 25 resources plus 20%, logistics food, 500 iron ore, and 800 ding-ding supplies. Purple eyes stared at Li Xiu's back with admiration. President, seamless logistics is fully activated to double the milk volume, but the guild channel is shady. Mo Fane reports the coordinates. And Sky Assassin has a 100% risk of instant kill. The charge horn was low and deafening, and the iron gates of the Black Iron Fortress roared open. The Earth Demon emerged with a huge body. The 40-level earth armor flashed with blood of 30,000 DPS, and 1,000 earth thorns were like rain. Sparks flew everywhere. Hundreds of earth demons with level 38 blood, 1,200 DPS, and 350 surged. The screams were ear-piercing, and the earth mist choked the nose and burned the lungs. The new blood shield array collapsed, the red line of the blood bar flashed, and howled, "The crowd is overwhelming, the movement speed is locked, DOT is 180 per second, we are so fragile," and lay down the gun. Chu Tianzhu's tank hit the shield with a loud bang, the force was 50 armor piercing, and he shouted with hatred, "Fire attack starts." The greasy skin of the Wolf King ignited the fire fragments and exploded, the flame wave rolled and the heat wave burned the skin. The total DPS exceeded 100,000, the Earth Demon's health bar evaporated and the green mist corroded, and the 5 tigers were outflanked and arrows rained and blood splashed everywhere. But the Earth Demon sucked the violent Earth Vortex within an 80-meter range, and the movement speed was -50. 40 soldiers of the Legion were arrayed with swords and shields, but the health bar dropped by 2,000, and the DPS was cut off at 200, the boss's magical skill to control the field, hatred is flying around, we output vacuum. Ye Zhi's robe hunting milk flashed across the screen, and his voice trembled, "President, the logistics iron ore supply is 800, but the whole group cannot hold the milk, the portal countdown is 45 minutes for crisis." The psychological game flashed in Li Xiu's mind again, fire broke through the defense, but the Earth Demon had 100,000 health in the Earth Shield. The Legion could not hold back the hatred. The risk of dueling in a duel was 2,000 DPS, 80 critical hits versus 30,000 health. 10 hits were needed. The green mist DOT stacked up to 180 per second and had an 80% chance of winning. However, the sky's detection wave was close, delaying the full opening of the local unified portal, and the Empire fell. Ambition overcame fear, and he roared, "Legion cover, I challenge the boss alone. Fully unleash the command attack." The golden-robed hunter jumped up with agility of 192 ghost flashes and earth thorns to predict, the wolf fang necklace critical hit with 80 red light flashes, the iron sword and poisonous fangs dual-wielded to tear the air hissing, the command strike critical hit with 3,800 green mist corrosion piercing the core of the earth armor. The Earth Demon cracked the Earth Shield and splashed sparks, roaring like thunder, "Intruder, die." The Earth Spike arc locked DPS with 1,000, Li Xiu's resource exploration combined with the blue and red light pulsation of the water and fire imperial weapon, all attributes +50, explosive strength of 238, agility of 242, DPS of 3,000 monsters. The dual-wielding combo critical hit 4,200 green mist stacks 250 DOT per second, the boss's health bar dropped by 8,000, and the earth vortex disintegrated and dust hit his face. Chu Tian's eyes widened as the shield fell to the ground with a clang, the sweat on his forehead froze, and his voice trembled, "Brother Xiu, challenge the 40-level boss. All of them are explosive DPS 3,000 critical hit combos. God's operation predicts 0 damage from earth stabs. The imperial weapon is fused with blue and red light to rule. The team's buff output is increased by 10%, and the total DPS of our army exceeds 150,000. 5 tigers broke their bowstrings and knelt down, punching their chests with thunderous sounds, the commander is invincible. The wolf's fangs crit 80 green mist DOTs to corrode the boss's earth shield for 100,000 seconds. Shattered, the new blood is dumbfounded. The new blood passers-by were jealous and shocked. Li Xiu singled out the 42 boss at level 40 with 30,000 blood evaporated, the fusion of divine equipment and imperial weapons, all with 240 DPS, and 3,000 monsters, the local overlord has risen. Ye Zhi, the water in his eyes flashed crazily, and he hugged Li Xiu's phantom and cried out sweetly, "The president's ambition is burning, fuse the imperial weapon attack +50 and our logistics milk volume will be doubled." Li Xiu's mental ecstasy turned calm, 8 hits broke the shield, the remaining blood-violent earth explosion range was 100 meters, and the dodge window was 3 seconds. Quickly predicting the vortex, He jumped up and commanded a blow to end the critical hit of 5,200. The boss knelt down and exploded with dazzling golden light, first kill of the Earth Demon General. Earth Elemental Emperor Weapon X1, 100,000 experience points, Purple Earth Armor Set. Conquer the local Black Iron Fortress. Ding Ding was promoted to 40 level with all attributes plus 70, and the guild system exploded. The local server is unified throughout the territory. Unlock the Imperial Code, increase the attributes of all members by 15%, the guild limit is 2,000, and your reputation will explode with a surge in recruitment. The Golden Dragon relief sculpture in the Iron Stone headquarters shook the sky, and the territory expansion buff pulsated. The Trade Network Level 1 daily iron ore production of 8,000 grains, 5,000 gold coins, and 50,000 gold coins was buzzing wildly. The NPC guards knelt down and pledged their allegiance with wild eyes, the ruler, the prototype of the local empire. The defense tower has been upgraded to 800 DPS with a range of 100 meters. The guild channel flashed with green light, the new blood's withdrawal was reversed, the number of members increased by 2,000, and the combat power exceeded 30,000, and the blue light flashed. Chu Tian knelt down and offered his shield, his eyes red with admiration. Brother Xiao, the Empire Code buff strength plus 18 agility plus 19, Legion level 5 prepared 60 soldiers, blood 4,000 DPS and 300, our local monopoly resources have increased 10 times. Ye Zhi's mark optimized soil resistance plus 30, purple eyes burst into tears and embraced Li Xiao, President, 2,000 elites are loyal, ambitions are as high as the sky. The 5 tiger generals roared with passion, the commander singled out the power of the gods, the whole server worships him. Luo Li's silver-haired silhouette appeared with deep purple eyes. The air was chilly and whispered, Ruler, the 5 elements gathering Earth Element Imperial Artifact has been obtained. The 4th ring mission is unlocked, Hiddenwood Elemental Emperor Palace, Fusion Imperial Artifact upgraded the Crown of Control, cross-server portal counter-control energy plus 50%. But the crisis has not been eliminated. Before he finished speaking, a red light announcement burst across the server, Molfen Iron-Blooded Alliance activates temporary cross-server channel. The Sky Empire's small vanguard group of 340 level assassins broke into the mainland, with a combat strength of 100,000, locking in Ironstone Village. The shouts of killing shook the sky, and the overlord was bloodbathed. The purple cracks in the sky are tearing apart and buzzing like thunder, the murderous wind blows in the face, 300 black shadows teleport down, the purple blade flashes and stabs with a DPS of 600 arcs, the blue flames of the brazier stretch out the ghost shadows, and the war is about to break out across servers. Li Xiao stood up in his golden robe, his ring of command burned with golden light, and his eyes were as ambitious as a knife. Come on. The Imperial Code is fully opened, Tu Jinfu is the vanguard. Chu Tian's shield was raised and the roar shook the sky, the blood was boiling, the sword was cold, and the sound of killings in Taisher village was filled with sand and blood rising to the sky. Outside Taisher village, purple fissures tore through the sky like a giant beast's bloody mouth, the roaring thunder was deafening, and the sinister wind mixed with the smell of metal and blood rushed towards my face, causing my cheeks to hurt like a knife. 300 black shadows teleported to the ground and instantly swelled into a tide. The 5,000 gold-clad iron-blooded alliance legions came out in full force. The 40-level assassin's curved blade flashed with purple light and the DPS was 600 instant kills. The new blood forward's health bar flashed with red lines. He screamed and fell to the ground, his internal organs splattered with hot blood and his face was splattered with a pungent smell. The Sky Pioneer has 500 assassins teleporting and locking their heads, the rear army has 2,000 crazy battle axe formations with 800 DPS and armor breaking, 1,000 cavalry charge with a movement speed of 200 and damage AoE per second of 500. Our 2,000 fragile guild has 3,000 health and milk cuts, and the countdown to total annihilation is 30 seconds. The guild channel is red. The screen was filled with wails like a ghost crying, and the barrage was rolling with black clouds. Li Xiao's local uniform is awesome, but the gold server's combat power is 500,000, and the total DPS exceeds 1 million, the Iron Blood Mark Gold resists 40 buffs in the lead, and our Empire's code plus 15% is not enough to evaporate. There is only one person left after quitting the membership. Qianbao. The defense tower DPS has a range of 800 meters and sparks are flying, but the assassin dodges the ghosts. The wall of Taisher village is shattered and stone debris rains down on his shoulders, causing pain. Xinshue's eyes are desperate, his legs are weak and he kneels. Mo Fan's head is exposed with a bounty of 50,000 gold, and the whole server is hunting us down with guns. Chu Tian held the shield high and formed the iron barrel array. 60 Legion Void soldiers lined up with 4,000 DPS and 300 Sinhan. Slime glue was splashed on them, making them slippery and slow down for 30 seconds. The roar shook the sky like muffled thunder. Brother Xiu, the iron barrel array is activated. The forward assassin pulls the hate shield to collide, the main tank rotates in 3 lines, and the cavalry charges into the fire pit and trap waiting. The first wave of 500 assassins buzzed with arcade blades. Like a swarm of bees, the purple light locks on the instant kill DPS and 600 blood flowers explode. The new blood logistics blood bar drops by 1,000 and howls, teleport penetrates the iron barrel, hatred flies around and outputs a vacuum. Chu Tian shield's anti-armor piercing power of 200 hits the ground with a loud noise. The Legion level 5 soldier's sword is as bright as a net and the total DPS exceeds 20,000. The assassin's health bar evaporates and the green mist corrodes and falls to the ground. Ding Ding's experience is exploding. But the second wave of 2,000 mad battle axes roared in, the cold light of the axes broke through the earth armor with 800 DPS, and the edge of the iron barrel collapsed. The red line of the soldier's health bar flashed, the golden resistance buff axe critical hit is 70, our earth armor is shattered, and the DOT per second stacks up to 200, and the whole group can't stand it. Chutian's face was ashen with sweat rolling down his face, and his voice was trembling like a candle in the wind. Brother Xiu, the second wave is blocked, but the cavalry's 1,000 movement speed and 200 magic damage AoE are overwhelming. Iron the cracks in the barrel widened and people's hearts collapsed. Ye Zhi's violet eyes flashed with tears as she hunted in her robe. The dragon's roar rose and the territory pulsated. The territory expanded to 100 meters. The soil resistance was 30 gold and the resistance was 25. The resources were doubled. Ding Ding supply, President, the logo is optimized and the buff output is plus 20% and the speed is plus 35%. The logistics food is doubled for 1,000 iron ores and 1,006 milk, but the third wave of cavalry charge is approaching. Our fragile defense line is broken. The third wave of thousands of iron-blooded cavalry thundered and shook the mountains. The dust and yellow mist choked the nose and burned the lungs. Fireballs rained down from a range of 500 meters per second and 80 meters per second. The Iron Stone village was in flames and the heat wave burned the skin. The new blood shield formation evaporated and the smell of burnt flesh hit their nostrils. The remaining 1,500 guild members screamed. Cavalry D. The PS total exceeded 500,000, the movement speedlock iron barrels were all broken. Mo Fan's clone appeared, level 45 golden armor, blood 50,000, leadership 30 meters, command range 30 meters, our empire code buff kneeled down. Mo Fan's clone golden robe hunting shadow appeared, purple eyes coldly growled, Li Xiu, there is a reward of 50,000 gold. The local overlord. 5,000 legions of the Iron-Blooded Alliance massacred the village, and the cross-server channels were open to bloodbath the Imperial Dream. The guild channel was filled with shady scenes, and passers-by's comments turned to fear. The strength of the 2,000 remnants of the Overlord dynasty is 30,000 versus 500,000, and the purple dragon mark of the golden server leads the entire server, and Li Xiu's divine outfit challenges the BOS. S's luck is overwhelming, but the crowd is overwhelming. 5 tigers broke the bowstring and bloodshot fingers oozed out, staring at the crack in the sky with distracted eyes. Commander, 3 waves of iron barrels blocked the pulsating attack of Mo Fan's clone Jin Xing Imperial Artifact plus 40 army buffs, our DPS's hatred can't hold it back. Li Xiu's golden robe hunting station is at the head of Taishikan. The red light of the wolf fang necklace is burning, reflecting the sword eyebrows like knives. A storm is sweeping through his mind. The gold server's 5,000 legions have a combat power of 500,000 DPS, and the total DPS exceeds 1 million. The iron barrel formation is cracked and people's hearts are floating. The delayed counter-control portal has fallen and ambitions have been wiped out. But the imperial weapon is fused with water, fire, earth, blue, red and yellow light pulsating, all attributes are plus 90, attack plus 80, the ring of command's golden light bursts. The leadership is 20 to 30, he taps the void panel with his finger, resource exploration level 2 scans the gold imperial weapon for clues to hide the core of Mo Fan's clone, the system whispers, Empire Commander skill unlocked, Behemoth Legion summons. Energy gathers throughout the territory, summoning hundreds of earth and fire giant beasts with 10,000 DPS and 500 range AoE fire breath. The psychological game is as fast as a flash of fire. Shou Cun. The defense tower is broken and cannot contain the crowd, rush into the formation. The risk is instant kill, but the 5 elements of winning gold gather at the portal to counter-control 100%. The guild limit is overflowing and recruits 10,000 people to reverse the whole server. Ambition burned his heart like a blazing flame. He sneered and roared, his eyes were as ambitious as fire. The whole council listens to the order, the imperial code is fully opened. Hold the Chu Tian iron barrel, Ye Zhi's symbol expands to lock the enemy, I rush into the formation to slaughter Mofan's clone to seize the gold. The teleportation beam hummed and rose, the agility of 242 ghosts flashed purple blades, the iron sword and fangs were dual-wielded to tear the air and hissed, and the commanding strike critical hit 3,800 green mist pierced the core of the enemy's formation. The arc blades of the Assassin Legion were like rain and sparks were flying everywhere. Li Xiu was able to dodge with 0 damage at all points. The Wolf Fang crit hit 80 red lights and hit 4,000 monsters in DPS. 20 assassins' health bars evaporated and fell to the ground with gold coins exploding. Xin Xue's eyes widened as he knelt down and panted as his health bar returned, his voice trembling, Brother Xiu. 242 teleportation speeds, 4,000 DPS critical hits to kill 20 gold-suited assassins in a row, the Empire's commander is invincible. Chutian's shield hit the ground with a loud thunder, and the iron barrel array reorganized and roared to the sky, the commander charged into the formation with divine power, the first wave of reverse push DPS exceeded 300,000. Li Xiu jumped up to control the crown to prepare for the pulse, and the Empire's commander's skills exploded with golden light, the monster army is summoned. The earth cracked and hundreds of earth fire behemoths roared and rose, their huge bodies were lava-laden, heat waves hit their faces, and they were bleeding 10,000 DPS. 500 fire breath AoE ranges were 50 meters. The wild battle axe array evaporated and the green mist corroded the health bar. The cavalry horses fell to the ground with a neighing sound. The behemoth's 100-headed beasts totaled 500,000 DPS, and the earth fire debuff slowed down 50 gold resistance. We have the iron-blooded buff and kneeled down. Ye Zhi's purple eyes flashed wildly. The golden dragon logo expands the territory of the dragon's roar by 200 meters. The buff output plus 30% gold resistance plus 35 milk light refreshes the screen. They hug Li Xiu and the phantom shouts, President, the logo reversal is fully activated and the logistics are seamless. The behemoth army draws hatred and doubles the DPS of our army. The 5 tigers buzzed with arrows and splashed blood. They punched their chests and roared with blood, the commander summoned magical skills, Mo Fan's golden armor cracked, we flanked and massacred. Mo Fan's clone's golden eyes locked fiercely, the purple blade teleported DPS 1,200. And the headlock commanded a critical hit of 4,200, the green mist added 300 DOT per second, Li Xiu's resource exploration fusion earth and fire emperor's weapon flashed yellow and red, all attributes were plus 100, strength 300, agility, 300 DPS, soaring 6,000 monsters. The dual-wielding combo tore through the golden armor, causing sparks to fly everywhere. The fire breath of the giant beast dropped the health bar, and the blood bar dropped by 20,000. Mo Fan's clone roared and exploded with sand and dust within 100 meters of range. Intruder, die. Li Xiu quickly predicted the vortex and jumped up to command a blow to end the critical hit. Golden Emperor Weapon X1, 500,000 experience, purple gold blade sheath. The temporary cross-server channel collapsed and the 5,000 invading army was wiped out. Ding Ding Systems golden light flashes and upgrades to levels 41 to 50. All attributes plus 100. Explosive strength 338 and agility 342. The guild channel's green light explodes, local defense victory. The Imperial Code upgrade increases all attributes by 25%, the guild limit is 5,000, the combat power exceeds 100,000, and the morale is at its peak to recruit tens of thousands of people. The Golden Dragon relief sculpture in Ironstone Village shook the sky. The trade network's daily output of iron ore was 20,000 gold coins, and the 100,000 gold coins were beating wildly, and the defense tower DPS had a range of 1,500 and 150 meters. The NPC guard knelt down and said enthusiastically, "Ruler, the pinnacle of the empire. The resource monopoly has increased 20 times." Chu Tian knelt down on his shield and presented his eyes with red silk adoration and trembling. Brother Xiu, level 50, all belong to 340 DPS and 6,000 gods and demons. 100 giant beasts slaughtered 5,000 gold suits. 3 waves of the iron barrel formation did not damage our combat power of 100,000, which is heaven-defying. Ye Zhi's sign. Optimizing 300 meters of the Jin Kong 40 territory, Li Xiujiao gasped with tears in his purple eyes. The ambition of the president is burning. The 5 elements gathered to seize the gold imperial weapon, and the 5,000 elites of the guild are loyal and worshipped by the whole server. The 5 tiger generals roared and punched the ground with hot blood. The commander-in-chief will kill Mo Fanfan. Invincible, the purple blade armor dropped, and the new blood barrage exploded. Overlord Li Xiu rose to annex the gold server. Passers-by's barrage shocked the black clouds and turned green. 50 level DPS, 6,000 crits, 80 imperial weapons, 5 elements, all 340. Monster, the local victory over the cross-server portal counter-control, the Iron-Blooded Alliance wiped out all 5,000. The guild's morale erupted like a volcano, the members soared to 5,000, and 100,000 blue lights flashed, and the new-blooded swordsman roared, "Follow the commander and slaughter the entire server." Luo Li's silver-haired shadow appeared with piercingly cold purple eyes. She held the 5-element imperial weapon, the golden, blue, red, yellow and green lights gathered together and pulsated, and whispered like the wind, "Ruler, the 5 weapons are perfect. The fusion command crown is upgraded, all attributes plus 50 leadership and 50 command all servers, the cross-server portal activation ceremony is started, and the counter-control energy is 100%. Li Xiu's fingers were fused with the imperial weapon crown and gold crown, and the golden light on the top was burned, and the system exploded. Crown of command. Attack plus 100, all attributes plus 50, the Empire's legion limit is 1,000, and the local empire is immortal with all doors open. The central altar of Ironstone Village buzzed and rose, the 5-color light pillar shot into the sky, the purple crack reversed the golden light expansion, the cross-server portal was fully opened, the energy locked the entire server, and the red light exploded. The Overlord dynasty activates the cross-server portal. The ruler of the local empire, Li Xiu, invites all servers to fight. But the cracks in the sky suddenly expanded, the murderous wind was like a tsunami, 100,000 gold-suited army was pressing down on the realm, and the thunder of horse hooves shocked the soul. The shadow of Mo Fan appeared and laughed wildly. Li Xiu, the portal is open. The Iron-Blooded Alliance's 100,000 army battle, the total force of 5 million DPS exceeds 10 million, and the ultimate national war bleeds the virtual empire. The sand and dust in Taisher village are bloody and the sky is full of blood. The beasts are roaring and the legions are arrayed. Li Xiu's crown is as ambitious as a knife. He fights with a sneer. The whole server is on the verge of war. Outside Taisher village, the cross-server portal's golden light was like the scorching sun burning the sky, and the 5-color light beams were pulsing and roaring deafeningly. The cold wind mixed with the smell of rust and blood was like a tsunami hitting the face, and the pain in the cheeks was like thousands of needles piercing the bones. The 100,000-strong golden-served iron-blooded alliance army is approaching like a swarm of ants, the horseshoes are thundering, the earth is cracking, the mountains are shaking, the dust is yellowing, and the fog is choking the nose and burning the lungs. Tens of thousands of cavalry are moving at a speed of 300, with AoE damage of 800 per second. Fireballs are raining down, and the forwards are 50,000 assassins with arc blades. Purple light buzzing DPS, 1,000 instant kill locks, crazy battle, 30,000 axe formation, 1,200 armor breaking critical hits, 75, stacked DOT of 400 per second, rear army mage with 20,000 ice and firestorm, range of 200 meters per second, total DPS exceeding 5 million. The guild channel's red light flashes across the screen, ghosts howl, and new blood screams. The red line of the blood bar flashes wildly, 100,000 legions with a combat power of 5 million DPS are pressing down on the situation. Our 5,000 crispy guild has a combat power of 100,000 and the milk is cut off. The defense tower has 1,005 DPS. We can't kneel down. Countdown to total annihilation. 10 seconds. The black clouds of passers-by's barrage turn to taunting. Li Xiu is awesome in seizing the golden imperial weapon, but the number 1 leader in the human sea battle, Mo Fan Jinfu, is 30, and the entire army's buff gold resistance is 50, and our empire's code plus 25% is not enough to evaporate. The cross-server portal is open to dig one's own grave. 3,000 people are left after quitting the club. The walls of Taisher village were shattered and stone fragments rained down on my shoulders, causing pain. The behemoth army's 100-headed earth-fire body was filled with lava and hot waves. However, the assassin teleported through it and flew around with hatred. Chujian's shield held up the iron bucket. The edge of the formation cracked, the soldiers' health bars evaporated and the green mist corroded, beads of sweat rolled down their livid faces, and the voice trembled like a candle in the wind. Brother Xiu, the cracks in the iron barrels weighed by 100,000 tides are shattering people's hearts. The first wave of assassins has a total of 50,000 DPS and a total of 5 million. Our monsters can't hold it back. Ye Zhi's purple eyes flashed with tears, her robe hunted with the golden dragon symbol, the dragon's roar ascended, the territory was 300 meters long, the pulsating buff output was plus 30%, the gold resistance was plus 40%, the logistics food was 2,000 iron ores and 3,000 ounces of milk was flashing, but she screamed, President, the trade network blockade is activated. But Mo Fan's resources are the daily production of iron ore has doubled from 500,000 to 100,000. We have a monopoly of 20 times but we can't handle the massive AoE. The 5 tigers broke their bowstrings and their eyes were bloodshot. The golden robe of the phantom appears. The buff attack of the whole army is plus 50. Our DPS is off the red line of the whole group. The phantom of Mo Fan hangs high in the sky, and his golden eyes are fierce and hunting. He laughs like thunder. Li Xiu, the cross-server portal is open. Iron-blooded alliance 10,000s of elites are slaying the empire, with a bounty of 100,000 gold heads being hunted across the server, and the virtual overlord's dream will be bloodbathed. The new blood's legs became weak and he knelt down, howling with his guts twisting in despair. The purple dragon mark of the gold server leads the entire server, and Mo Fan leads the entire army with 20,000 DPS of his divine armor. We are finished with a gun. Li Xiu commanded the crown's golden light to burn and reflected the sword's brow like a knife. The red light of the wolf fong necklace cribbed for 80 pulses. All attributes were 340 plus crown plus 50 strength, 388 agility, 392 DPS and 6,000 monsters. He tapped the void panel with his finger. Resource Exploration Level 2 scanned MO fans resource lines for hidden weaknesses, and the system murmured like a dull thunder, the ultimate mission of the Empire Commander, on the first day of the cross-server national war, break into the enemy server and paralyze 3 resource points, fuse the 5 elements Imperial artifact to refine the Overlord artifact, and unlock the collapse of the Empire. Ambition is like a blazing fire, and he sneered and roared to the sky, everyone listens to the order. Chu Tian sent 2,000 iron barrels to paralyze Mofan's iron ore line. Ye Zhi marked the blockade of trade. The whole area was slowed down by 50% and the output was doubled. I led the 3,000 elites of the monster army to break into the main city of the gold server and slaughter the outer counter-control portal. The teleportation beam buzzed in 5 colors and rose with an agility of 300. 92 ghostly ghosts flashed purple blades, dual-wielding iron swords and poisonous fangs to tear the air and hiss and fill the air with poisonous mist. The behemoth army roared with 100 heads. Upgraded to an upper limit of 300 heads, a huge body of earth and fire. Magma spewed heat waves and burned the skin. DPS 500 AoE. The fire breath range was 60 meters. The guild channel exploded with green light. The morale peaked, Commander's divine order. Divide the troops and attack, and slaughter the golden suit. Chutian's shield smashed to the ground with a loud thunder, and 2,000 iron barrels were divided into teleporting iron ore lines. Slime glue was splashed, greasy and slippery. 60 horse hooves were decelerated, and they were screaming and scorching. New blood eyes widened. The blood bar returned to blood and roared, Brother Chu's iron barrels were paralyzed successfully. The daily output of Mofan's iron mine was cut off to 100,000, and the army's food crisis milk supply collapsed. Ye Zhi's golden dragon symbol dragon roar expands the entire territory to 500 meters. Trade blockade pulses, gold resistance 50 fire resistance 40 slowdown at 70%, the enemy's logistics red light flashed on the screen and screamed, the overlord symbol is blocked. The resources are doubled and our DPS is losing 30% of the milk. Li Xiu led 3,000 elite monsters and 300 to break into the outskirts of the main city of the gold server. The assassins had 50,000 arc blades like rain, tinkling and sparks flying, all of which exploded and dodged with 0 damage. The Wolf Fong crit with 80 red light combos, and the DPS soared 8,000 monsters. The 50-year-old assassin's health bar evaporated and fell to the ground in a green mist, with gold coins tinkling and bursting from the meter. The new Blood Guild swords are as bright as nets, and the total DPS exceeds 500,000. With eyes bloodshot and admiring, they kneel down with trembling admiration. Brother Xiu penetrated the sea of people at a speed of 392, DPS 8,000, critical hits, killing 50 gold-suited assassins in a row. The giant beast's fire breath evaporates, and the axe array is invincible. The 30,000 axe array roared and rushed towards the cold light. The earth armor DPS is 1,200, the behemoth's huge body collides with the rock wall with a loud noise, the fire breath AoE bombards the health bar, and the health bar drops by 50,000. The enemy's green mist corrodes the ground and the stench hits his nostrils. 300 earth and fire beasts total DPS 1.5 million, the gold resistance buff kneels down and slows down by 70, our axe critical hit breaks the gear. Mofan's outer defense tower of the main city had a DPS range of 2,000 meters and 200 meters. Sparks flew everywhere. Li Xiu commanded a critical strike and hit the tower foundation with a critical strike. 12 golden awns tore the tower foundation into stone chips like rain. Resource exploration merged with the 5 elements imperial weapon. The blue, red, gold and green rays gathered into the crown pulsation. The system exploded with golden light and dazzled the eyes. The 5 elements imperial weapon is perfectly integrated. Refining the overlord artifact, the crown of empire collapse. All attributes plus 100 attack plus 150 leadership 70 command all servers, unlock the ultimate skill empire collapse. A range of 1,000 meters, DPS total breaking tens of millions, earth, fire, water, gold, wood, 5 elements explosion, lasting 10 seconds to destroy everything. Li Xiu crown upgrades the golden crown and wears the top to burn ambition like a knife, has strength of 488 and agility of 492 DPS and 20,000 monsters. He sneers and jumps up to explode with skills, the empire collapses. The 5-color halo expanded for 1,000 meters and buzzed like the end of the world. The yellow mist swallowed the sky, the fire breathed, the red waves burned the ground, the water swirled and the blue tide drowned the golden blades, gold tore wood, vines, and green nets to strangle. The defense towers outside the main city evaporated and collapsed, making loud noises that shook the soul. Stones hit the ground and hurt. The assassin's mad war mage had 30,000 health bars. The green fog dot superimposed thousands of points per second. The heat wave, the bloody burnt smell, mixed with the lungs. The enemy screamed and cried, the empire of the overlord's artifact collapsed and DPS tens of millions of elements exploded. Our gold resistance 50-50 was completely broken and the health bar was 0, and the outside of Mofan's main city was completely destroyed. The new members of the guild's army opened their eyes wide and trembled as they knelt down with tears of blood. The commander's magic skills collapsed, the outside of the main city was wiped out and the DPS was invincible. The whole server was shocked. Luo Li's silver-haired phantom suddenly appeared on the battlefield, with piercingly cold purple eyes and deep purple eyes. He held a sacred scroll and the golden light pulsed like the wind, whispering like the wind, "Ruler, the power of collapse is perfect." Luo Li's god-level buff, the empire is immortal, and the entire army is invincible for 10 seconds. DPS is doubled and damage is reduced by 80%, and morale is eternal. The golden light swiped the screen and the whole guild flashed with blue light. 300 behemoths roared and upgraded to 20,000 DPS and 1,000 AoE. The fire breath expanded 100 meters. The resource lines of 3 medium-sized servers were cut off. The defenders were defeated and surrendered. Ding ding system announcement, the Overlord dynasty annexed 3 medium-sized servers of the Golden Server. The guild's upper limit is 10,000 people, its combat strength has soared to 300,000, and its resource monopoly has increased 50 times, with a daily output of 500,000 gold coins and 300,000 iron ore. The green tide explosion in the guild channel had tens of thousands of members. The blue light flashed, and the new blood fist hit the chest and shouted to the sky, "Goddess Luo Li's buff is invincible, and she has annexed the 3 servers of the guild and has 10,000 people to lead the overlord and worship the whole server." Chu Tian divided his troops to report that the iron mine was paralyzed and the iron barrel was intact. He knelt down to offer his shield and his eyes were red and trembling, "Brother Xiu." The periphery of the main city was destroyed, Mo Fan's resources collapsed, our trade blockade was seamless, and our combat power was 300,000 against the sky. Ye Zhi marked the optimization of the territory, and the golden resistance of 60 meters of purple eyes flashed wildly. Li Xiu's phantom gasped, "The president's artifact is fused with ambition and burned, and the 3 servers have annexed the loyalty of 10,000 people, the empire is at its peak." Mo Fan, the gold-robed hunter, had a cracked shadow above his head in the main city. His purple eyes turned sinister and he roared like a beast in despair, "Li Xiu, the 5 elements of the Overlord artifact collapsed. The outskirts of the main city destroyed 30,000 elite DPS and evaporated tens of millions. The golden element was taken away and resources were cut off. Our iron-blooded alliance's combat power dropped by 30%, and the reward was lost. If you fail, you will regret invading the homeland." His golden eyes were bloodshot, his hands were trembling, and his 30-year leadership buff collapsed. The hearts of the entire army were filled with thoughts and black clouds were rolling in. Mo Fan is finished. Li Xiu's empire-destroying magic skill ranks first in the server, and the iron-blooded golden kneeling overlord Golden Dragon is in the lead. Let's lay down our guns and wash away our dreams. Passers-by's barrage was jealous and shocked, and turned into worship. 50 level DPS, 12 critical hits, 80 overlord artifacts all belonged to 500 monsters, annexed the guilds of 3 servers with a strength of 10,000 people, and a combat power of 300,000, and the cross-server war was the first of the Japanese Empire to rule the entire server forever. The 5 tigers smashed their fists with buzzing arrows and blood splashing everywhere. Earth, the commander cut off Mo Fan's ambition. Mo Fan defeated us in despair, outflanked and massacred us. The beasts roared and the legion arrayed in Ironstone village. The relief sculpture of the golden dragon shook the sky. The trading network jumped wildly. The defense tower DPS had a range of 3,000 meters and a range of 300 meters. The NPC knelt down and said fervently, "Ruler, the empire is expanding across the server." But the fissures in the sky suddenly widened and a murderous tsunami spread. 200,000 allied troops from all servers pressed down on the territory. Horseshoes thundered and screamed to kill. Mo Fan, who respected the leadership of the group, showed up with a maniacal smile with 40 purple eyes and blood red. Li Xiu, a small victory on the first day. The Iron-Blooded Alliance assembles the entire server alliance. The army's 200,000 combat power and 10 million DPS exceeded 20 million, and the final attack wiped out the virtual empire. The sand and dust in Taisher village are bloody and the sky is full of blood. Thousands of behemoths have been upgraded to form an army. Li Xiu's crown is full of ambition, and he sneers to fight. The decisive battle across the server is about to begin. Outside Ironstone village, the bloody sand and dust are rolling like a violent torrent. The 200,000 allied troops are as black as a swarm of apocalyptic insects. The thunder of horse hooves is shaking the mountains and the yellow mist is choking their noses and burning their throats. The iron-blooded cavalry has a movement speed of 100,000 and a movement speed of 400 and AoE damage of 1,000 fireballs per second. A torrential rain is pouring down. Falling, the forward assassin with 80,000 arc blades and purple electric buzzing DPS is 1,500 instant kill locks, the 60,000 axe array with cold light armor piercing crit with 80 stacks of DOT per second is 600, the rear army mage is with 40,000 ice and firestorms with a range of 300 meters and a total DPS of over 10 million. The guild channel's red light flashed like blood. The new blood's legs were weak and he knelt down with his internal organs cramping and screaming. 200,000 coalition troops with a combat strength of 10 million and DPS of 20 million are pressing down on the situation. Our crispy skin of 50,000 has a total combat strength of 300,000 and the defense tower has 3,000 DPS. We can't kneel down. The countdown to destruction is 5 seconds. The black clouds of barrage from passers-by taunted like knives. Li Xiu conquered 3 servers, but Mo Fan's leadership in the sea battle is 40, and the whole army's buff gold resistance is 60, and our empire's code plus 25% Luo Li's buff is invincible for 10 seconds. Not enough for a wave of evaporation, the cross-server portal opened to seek death. The village wall was hit by stone fragments like rain, and the shoulders were sore. The giant beast army with thousands of earth and fire bodies was hit by the hot waves of lava, but the assassin teleported and penetrated the hatred and pulled him away. Chutian's shield was raised high. The edge of the iron barrel array cracked, the health bar evaporated, and the green mist corroded, sweat and blood flowed into the livid face, and the voice trembled like a candle. Brother Xiu, the cracks in the iron barrels weighed by 200,000 tides are causing people's hearts to collapse. The first wave of assassins has 80,000 DPS with a total of 12 million, we monsters can't hold it back. Ye Zhi's purple eyes shone with tears, her robe hunted with the golden dragon symbol, the dragon's chant ascended over 1,000 meters of territory, pulsating buff output plus 50%, gold resistance plus 60%, logistics food, 5,000 iron ore, 5,000 milk, the screen flashed, but she gasped and screamed, "President, the trade network has blocked the whole territory." But Mo Fanzi the source line's daily output of 1 million gold coins and iron ore has been doubled to 500,000. We have a monopoly of 50 times and we can't handle the massive AoE. The 5 tigers broke their bowstrings, their fingers were bloody and their eyes were blurred, and they knelt down. Commander, the iron-blooded cavalry moved fast to lock down the entire area, and the defense towers were scattered with sparks and shattered. Mo Fan's golden robe appears. The whole army has buff attack plus 60, and our DPS is off the red line of the whole group. Mo Fan himself hung high in the rift in the sky, and the golden-eyed blood-red hunter laughed wildly and exploded with thunder. Li Xiu, a small victory in 3 servers. The Iron-Blooded Alliance has 200,000 souls. Slaughter the Empire, hunt for 200,000 gold heads across the server, and bloodbath the dream of virtual overlord. The new Blood Guild army smashed its knees to the ground and howled in despair. The iron-blooded mark of the gold server leads the entire server. Mo Fan leads the entire army with 30,000 DPS of divine equipment, and we are finished with 50,000 guns. Li Xiu commanded the crown's golden light to burn and reflected the sword's brow like a knife. The red light of the wolf's fang necklace struck 80 pulses, all of which were 592 plus crown plus 100 strength, 588 agility, 592 DPS, and 50,000 monsters. He tapped the void panel with his finger. Resource Exploration Level 2 scans Mo Fan's entire army for resource weaknesses and hides them. The system mumbles and thunders. The ultimate mission of the Empire Commander is advanced. The Dragon Gate plan lures the enemy, marks the territory coverage, fights Mo Fan personally to defeat the core, and annexes half of the servers to unlock the eternal survival of the Empire. The flames of ambition burned his heart, and he sneered and roared to the sky. Everyone listens to the order. Chu Tian arranged the Dragon Gate plan, and the 50,000-strong army retreated with iron barrels to lure the enemy deep into the valley. Ye Zhi's golden dragon mark expanded the entire area by 2,000 meters, slowed down by 80%, doubled the output, and golden resistance was 70. I will lead thousands of giant beasts plus 10,000 elites to attack Mo Fan himself. The empire will collapse and everything will be determined with one blow. The beam of teleportation light buzzed and the 5 colors rose. Tang, with 592 agility, ghostly flashing purple blades, dual-wielding iron swords and poisonous fangs, tearing the air and hissing poisonous mist filled the air. The behemoth army roared with 1,000 heads, upgraded to an upper limit of 5,000, with a huge body of earth and fire. Lava spewed heat waves, burned the skin. DPS, 1,500 AOE, fire breath range, 150 meters. The guild channel green light exploded, morale reversed. Commander's divine order. Dragon Gate attack, kill 200,000. Chutian's shield hit the ground with a loud thunder, and the army of 50,000 iron barrels retreated in an orderly manner from the entrance of Longmen Valley. Thousands of barrels of slime glue were splashed, greasy and slippery, slowing down. 80 horseshoes pitted, hissing, scorched traps exploded, earth thorns were swallowed by yellow mist, new blood eyes widened and the blood bar returned. Full of blood, he roared, Brother Chu's Dragon Gate plan is perfect. Mo Fan's forward 80,000 assassins fell into the valley, DPS stopped and slowed down by 80, and our iron barrels reversed and outflanked without damage. Ye Zhi's golden dragon symbol dragon roar expands the entire territory by 2,000 meters. The pulsating gold resistance is reduced by 70 and the fire resistance is reduced by 50. At 80% speed, the enemy's logistics screen was flooded with red light and the ghosts cried, Overlord sign field. The whole area is slowed down by 80%, and 50% of the milk output has collapsed. Our 200,000 DPS have been cut in half. Li Xiu led 10,000 elites plus giant beasts and thousands of ghosts to break into the alliance. At the core of the army, Mo Fan guards the assassins with tens of thousands of arc blades, like rain, ding, ding, and sparks flying, all of which are explosive and dodge with 0 damage. The Wolf Fang crits, 80 red light combos, soaring DPS to 20,000 monsters, and the 100-year-old assassin's health bar instantly evaporates into green mist and falls to the ground. Gold coins, iron ore, ding, ding, explode. The new blood army's swords are as bright as nets, and the total DPS exceeds 1 million. They kneel down with bloodshot eyes and trembling admiration. Brother Xiu penetrated the sea of people at a speed of 592, hit 20,000 DPS to kill assassins in 100 gold suits in a row, and the beast's fire breath evaporates. The axe formation is invincible. The 60,000 axe formation roared and rushed towards the cold light breaking earth armor. The DPS was 1,500. The behemoth's huge body collided with the rock wall with a loud noise and the fire breath AoE bombarded the health bar. The enemy's health bar dropped by 25,000. The enemy was corroded by the green mist and fell to the ground with a scorching smell. The earth and fire beast with 1,000 heads has a total DPS of 1.5 million. The gold resistance buff kneels down and slows down by 80, and our axe critical hit breaks. The shadow of Mo Fan's gold-robed hunting main city appeared, with 40 golden eyes of leadership, blood-red DPS, and 30,000 axe blades with purple light breaking through the air. Li Xiu's crown pulse command hit a critical hit of 30,000 golden lights and tore the shield apart. Sparks flew everywhere. Mo Fan's health bar dropped by half a green mist. 1,000 DOT points per second, his purple eyes widened and his hands trembled as he stepped back and screamed, Li Xiu is all 592. The crown of dominance merges with the 5 elements empire to collapse, and the DPS of 20,000 hits 80, and my gold resists 60. The 5 tigers of the guild smashed their chests with buzzing arrows and bloody splashes. The commander personally fights Mo Fan, and the Dragon Gate plans to flank and kill 80,000 assassins. Li Xiu sneered and jumped up to lock Mo Fan with 592 agility, and his skills exploded, 1 hit of dominance. The empire collapsed. The 5-color halo expands 1,000 meters, the buzzing sound is coming, the earth explodes, the yellow mist swallows the sky, the fire breathes, the red wave burns the earth, the water swirls, the blue tide drowns the golden blade, tears the wood, vines, and the green net, strangles. Mo Fan's guards 30,000 health bars instantly evaporate, the green mist DOT stacks up to 2,000 per second, the heat wave. The bloody and burnt smell is mixed, choking the lungs and biting. Mo Fan's golden robe shattered, his leadership collapsed, and the red line of his health bar flashed wildly. He smashed his knees to the ground and roared in despair. The empire collapsed, and DPS tens of millions and 5 elements exploded. I led the entire army of 40 to kneel down and the health bar was 0. Mo Fan is finished. The system announced that the golden light was dazzling and the whole server roared. Overlord Dynasty Li Xiu defeated the core of the Iron-Blooded Alliance. Mo Fan was injured and fled. The 200,000 coalition troops were defeated and half of the servers were annexed. The guild's upper limit is 50,000, its combat power has increased to 1 million, and its resource monopoly has doubled by 100 times, with a daily output of 2 million gold coins and 1 million iron ore. The green tide explosion in the guild channel showed 50,000 members. The blue light flashed, and the new blood fist hit the chest and roared to the sky. The commander's magical skills collapsed. Mo Fan was defeated and annexed the guilds of 10 servers, with a combat power of 50,000 and a million against the sky. Chu Tian Tai Tong returned to his master. Taniguchi knelt down unharmed and offered his shield, his eyes were red and trembling. Repair Brother Longmen planned to lure the enemy to annihilate all 100,000 forwards. Mo Fan's resources collapsed and our trade blockade was seamless. We are number 1 in the server with 1 million combat power. Ye Zhi marked the optimized territory with 3,000 meters of golden resistance. The purple eyes flashed wildly and hugged Li Xiu. The Phantom gasped, the president personally defeated Mo Fan, half of them. The server has returned to the Overlord dynasty, and the empire will last forever. Luo Li's silver-haired shadow suddenly appeared on the battlefield, the coldness dissipated, his purple eyes were gentle, holding a divine scroll, the golden light pulsed like the wind, and whispered, Ruler, the ultimate mission is perfect. Luo Li's final blessing, the empire will last forever, and the attributes of the entire army will be +5. 0% invincible eternal DPS doubles the damage reduction by 90%, and the morale of the giant beast is immortal. The golden light washed over the screen, and the whole guild flashed with blue light and pulsed eternally. The 5 tiger generals knelt down with blood and tears. Goddess Luo Li's buff will last forever, and the commander of the empire will be worshipped by the entire server. After the aftermath of the battlefield, the sand and dust gradually dispersed and the blood faded away. Gold coins and iron ore piled up like mountains and were put into storage. Nissan was jumping wildly. The defense tower group was upgraded with a DPS of 5,000 and a range of 500 meters. The elite legion advanced to full level 50 after a bloody battle. The DPS soared by 3,000 and hit 70 new blood. The eyes widened and trembled in admiration. Brother Xiu led the whole group to full level. Luo Li's eternal buff made us crispy skins turn into tanks and the output exploded. The guild was 50,000 iron-blooded and invincible. A passerby's barrage turned from black cloud to green tide and was shocked and worshipped. Li Xiu is level 50D, PS 20,000 critical hits, 80 overlord artifacts, 70 annexations, half a server with a combat power of 1 million. The Japanese Empire dominates the entire territory in the cross-server war. The Mo Fan Iron-Blooded Alliance is wiped out and ranks first in the server. Chu Tian slapped his shoulders and laughed, his blood drying up his face. Whenever a serious injury lurks, we will monopolize the trade of the whole server. With 10 guild tokens, recruitment will be at its peak. Ye Zhi leaned on Li Xiu's arm and her purple eyes were shy and moist. The president's ambition has made the empire a 3,000-meter global buff. Internal management has zero trivial resources, and the resources are automatically doubled. The sisters have been promoted through bloody loyalty. Li Xiu's crown's golden light pulsed softly and his ambition turned into the glory of the empire. His sneer turned to gentleness and he looked down at everyone. The Overlord dynasty is immortal, 50,000 iron troops are arrayed, and the entire server is under control with Luo Li's eternal blessing. 10,000 beasts roared in array, and the Iron Stone Village's golden dragon relief dragon roar shook the sky. The trade network's daily output of 3 million gold coins, iron ore, and 1.5 million defense towers pulsed with Mars, and the NPC village chief knelt down to offer the earth to the upgraded version of the spiritual emperor cauldron. The heat wave hit his nostrils. Ruler, the blueprint for empire building is unlocked. The main city upgrades the whole server portal to counter control. The guild is very lively. The new blood treasure purple armor Ding Ding's upper body attributes are off the charts, his eyes are red with admiration. Brother Xiu borrows our 3,000 DPS to hit 70 critical points, the giant beast rides AoE, and the auto empire runs on its own. The 5 tigers smashed their fists on the ground with enthusiasm. The commander has harvested the whole server, the reputation and status treasures have been returned, Luo Li's mission has been completed, the empire will last forever, and the next step is to annex the remaining servers. The world has changed because of Li Xiu. The golden light of the cross-server portal pulses steadily. The light of the local empire shines on the whole server. The barrage is always green, the overlord rises. Li Xiu's virtual empire is immortal. The whole server worships. But deep in the sky, the cracks in the void suddenly expand. Black mist seeps out like ink, and the system and the whole server have red alarms blaring. The whole server boss, Void Emperor, has awakened due to the war in the country. Level 100, combat power of 50 million DPS, breaking through 15,000 global threats, 1 hour countdown to arrival, Empire Commander Li Xiu, final trial to decide the outcome. The shadows over Taisher village shrouded the sky with a biting chill. The giant beast roared uneasily. The guild channel trembled slightly. Xin Shui's eyes turned solemn but his blood was boiling, Emperor of the Void. Brother Xiu's empire collapsed plus Luo Li will live forever. We have 50 million combat power to kill the gods. Li Xiu raised his eyebrows and raised his crown to burn his ambitions again. He looked at the sky with a sneer, come on, the final battle of the whole server, I will rule the virtual empire. Dark clouds poured down like ink over Taisher village, black mist billowed, choking the nose and lungs, the cold wind roared and mixed with the rotten smell of sulfur and rushed towards the face. Thousands of giant beasts roared and restless, their huge bodies trembled and the magma pulsed dimly. The red light of the guild channel flooded the screen like a rain of blood. The new blood's legs were weak and his internal organs were cramped. He knelt down and screamed, "Void Emperor level 100 BOSS's combat power is 50 million DPS, breaking through 15,000 global AoEs. The sky-swallowing black mist evaporates 1,000,000 blood bars every second. Our 50,000 crispy skin has a total combat power of 1 million Luo Li. The permanent buff reduces damage by 90% and can't stop the whole group in one wave." Passers-by's barrage of black clouds taunted like a knife blade. Li Xiu annexed half the server, but the boss is awesome. Immune to physical magic, we lie down. The Empire will last forever. The cross-server portal counter-controls the local territory and the whole server is reset. Mo Fan's remnant army fights back and laughs to death. The stone fragments of the village wall cracked and hit the shoulder, and the defense tower was corroded by the black mist. The green rust spread and buzzed and the power was cut off. The edge of Chutian's shield was cracked, the seam expanded and the blood bar dropped by thousands of green mist DOT points per second. His livid face was covered with sweat and blood, and his voice trembled like a candle in the wind. "Brother Xiu, the void rift expands, the global debuff reduces the attack speed by 80%, and the movement speed is locked. The hatred of our giant beasts is pulling away the DPS, cutting people's hearts and collapsing, and the countdown is 30 seconds for all destruction." Ye Zhi's purple eyes flashed with tears, her robe hunted with the golden dragon symbol, dragon's chant faintly pulsated in her territory, and her 3-kilometer buff output plus 50% gold resistance plus 80% was swallowed up by the black mist and was reduced by 50%. Logistics, food, iron ore, and a daily output of 3 million gold coins and 1.5 million, but no one dared to touch her. She gasped and screamed, and her fingers were bloody. "President, the trade network has blocked the whole region, but the boss resources have been plundered by 10 times. We have monopolized 100 times the milk light, cut off Luo Li's eternal life, doubled the DPS, and still kneel down to suppress the whole region." The 5 tigers broke the bowstring, their eyes were distracted, and they knelt down and punched their chests. Blood splattered. "Commander, the Void Emperor appears in the sky and black wings cover the sky. The debuff of the entire army of guidance, our elites with 3,000 full-level DPS, critical hits and 70 giant beast fire breath AoEs are out of gear, and Mo Fan's remaining army of 50,000 is lurking on the edge, waiting for an opportunity to counterattack." Mo Fan's phantom edge cracks flashed with golden eyes and blood-red hunting laughter, thunder exploded, and the remaining army was revived with green light. "Li Xiu, the void awakens and the iron-blooded heavy live." The 200,000 coalition troops were wiped out. The boss swallowed up the empire and I am a fisherman. The bounty on the head of the whole server was doubled. The new Blood Guild army smashed its knees and howled like a wave of despair. The god-level boss is immune to the crown of domination, and Mo Fan's divine armor resurrected us, and the dream of the empire was shattered. Li Xiu commanded the crown's golden light to burn and reflected. The eyebrows of the sword were raised like a knife. The red light of the wolf's fang necklace cricked 80 pulses. All attributes were 592 plus crown plus 100. Strength 588, agility 592, DPS 20,000 monsters. He tapped the void panel with his finger. Resource exploration LV2 scanned the boss's weaknesses to hide. Hidden gap. The black mist core shadow crystal is overloaded and the 5 elements are fused and backfired. The system is low and thunderous, shaking the soul. Ultimate trial activation, Empire Eternal vs Void Emperor. The Dragon Gate plan is upgraded to Void Dragon Gate. The mark field is expanded to the limit of 5,000 meters. The core battle core defeats the Emperor to unlock the virtual empire to rule the entire server for eternity. The flames of ambition burned his heart like a starburst, and he sneered and roared loudly, shaking the world. The whole meeting listens to the order. Chu Tian arranged the Void Dragon Gate plan. 50,000 iron troops and iron barrels retreated from the entrance of the Fissure Valley to lure the boss deep. Ye Zhi's Golden Dragon mark was optimized to the limit of 5,000 meters, deceleration 90%, output triple gold resistance 90%. Luo Li's permanent superposition. I will lead 10,000 giant beasts plus 20,000 elites to attack the core of the Emperor, and the 5 Elements Empire will collapse and Ding Ding virtual server will be destroyed. Teleporting light. The pillars buzzed and 7 colors rose, the agility of 592 ghosts flashed, the purple blades predicted, the iron swords and poisonous fangs dual-wielded, ripped the air, hissed, poisonous mist filled the 5-element imperial weapon, gold, earth, water, fire, and wood, surrounded by buzzing, the behemoth army roared with 10,000 heads, upgraded blood 30,000 DPS, 2,000 AoE, fire breath, 200 meters, earth thorns, yellow mist, water swirling blue tide, the guild channel green. Light exploded, morale was against the sky, commander's divine order. The Void Dragon Gate attacks, the god-killing boss annexes the entire server. Chuqian's shield hit the ground with a dull thunderous sound like the ground cracking. An army of 50,000 iron barrels retreated in an orderly manner from the mouth of the rift in the void. Thousands of barrels of slime glue were splashed, greasy and slippery, slowing down. 90 black wings, pits, hissing, charred, black mist, corrosion, explosions, shadow crystals, earth thorns, yellow mist swallowing and pulsing, new blood, eyes widening, blood bar returning to full. Luo Li eternal blue, the light flashes and the hot-blooded roar shakes the sky. Brother Chu's Void Dragon Gate plan is against the sky. The Emperor's forward black mist tide valley DPS is out of gear and slowed down by 90, and our iron barrels are outflanking and the DPS is doubled without loss. Ye Zhi's Golden Dragon mark Dragon Roar limit expands 5,000 meters, pulsating gold resistance 90, fire resistance 70, slowdown 90%. Luo Li Yongzuan tripled the DPS of the entire army to reduce damage by 95%, and the boss black mist debuff filled the screen with red light, crying like ghosts and wolves. The overlord marks the limit of the field. The whole area is slowed down by 90% and 80% of the shadow crystals are overloaded. Our combat strength of 50 million is cut in half and collapsed. Li Xiu led 20,000 elites plus 10,000 monsters and ghosts burst into the core of the rift. The Emperor's Guard Blackwing Demon has 100,000 arc blades, buzzing with purple electricity, and has 2,000 instant kills and locks the head. All attributes are explosive dodge, 0 damage, Wolf Fang critical hit, 80 red light combos, soaring DPS of 30,000 monsters, 1,000 black wings blood bars, instantaneous evaporation of shadow crystals, tinkling explosions of gold coins, and mountains of iron ore. The new blood army's swords were as bright as the net, and the total DPS exceeded 2 million. With bloodshot eyes and trembling eyes, they knelt down and punched their chests. Brother Xiu penetrated the black mist at a speed of 592, DPS hit 30,000 and killed thousands of Emperor guards in a row, and the 5-element AoE evaporation of the giant beast was invincible and defying the heavens. The shadow of the Void Emperor's black-robed hunting rift main city appears. His leadership has 100 black eyes, blood-red DPS, and 5,000 black blades. Purple light breaks through the sky and swallows the whole sky. Li Xiu's crown pulsates and controls a critical hit. 50,000 golden lights tear apart the black mist shield. Sparks splash and explode. The Emperor's health bar drops by 1/3. Shadow crystal DOT is 2,000 per second. His black eyes widen, his claws tremble and he retreats, screaming like thunder. Li Xiu all 592. The 5 Elements Imperial Crown Fusion Empire's DPS is 30,000, and it penetrates my Shadow Crystal immunity gold and resists 90. The 5 Tigers of the Guild were buzzing with arrows and splashing with blood and tears. The commander personally fights the Emperor, and the Void Dragon Gate plans to outflank and kill 50,000 black wings. Li Xiu sneered and jumped up to quickly lock the Emperor with 592, and his skills exploded. Commendation strike. The ultimate collapse of the Empire. The 7-color halo expands 10,000 meters and buzzes with doomsday catastrophe. the earth explodes, the yellow mist swallows the sky, the fire breathes, the red wave burns the earth, the water whirlpools, the blue tide drowns the golden blade, tears the wood and vines, the green net, strangles the shadow crystal, the blueprint pulses back. The Emperor's Guard 200,000 health bars instantly evaporate, the shadow crystal diode superimposes 5,000 per second, the heat wave, the bloody, burnt sulfur smell, the choking lung-piercing black mist disintegrates. The Emperor's black robe shattered, his leadership collapsed, and the red line of his health bar flashed wildly. He smashed his knees to the ground and roared like a wave of despair. The Empire collapsed. 20 million DPS and 5 elements exploded. Shadow crystals were overloaded. I led hundreds of global debuffs to kneel down and the health bar was 0. The void, the Emperor, fell. The system announced that the golden light was dazzling and the whole server roared like the sky collapsed. Overlord Dynasty Li Xiu defeated the core of the Void Emperor. The boss fell and all server resources were unified, annexing the remaining half of the 20 servers in the entire domain. The guild's upper limit is 100,000 people, its combat power reaches tens of millions, and its resources monopolize 1,000 times the daily production of gold coins, tens of millions of iron ore, 5 million shadow crystals and 10,000 pieces. Cross-server portal. Full control of the virtual empire will last forever and rule the entire server. The green tide explosion in the guild channel saw 100,000 members. The blue light flashed and pulsed eternally. The new blood fist hit the chest and roared to the sky. The commander's magical skills collapsed to the limit. The Emperor of the Void fell and annexed the entire guild and the server with a combat power of 100,000 and 10 million god levels. Chu Tian Tai Tong returned to his master. Taniguchi knelt down unharmed to offer his shield, his eyes were red and trembling with tears. Brother Shou. The Void Dragon Gate plot lures the enemy to annihilate all 300,000 guards. The Emperor's shadow crystal explodes. Our trade blockade is seamless, and the overlord of the entire server with tens of millions of combat power will live forever. Ye Zhi marked the limit of the territory. The 10,000-meter golden anti-100 purple eyes flashed wildly and hugged Li Xiu. The phantom gasped and burst into tears. The president personally fights the god of slaughter, and all the remaining servers belong to the Overlord dynasty, immortal full control at the pinnacle of the virtual empire. Luo Li's silver-haired shadow suddenly appeared on the battlefield, her purple eyes were as gentle as water, holding the eternal divine scroll, golden light pulsating and whispering like the spring breeze. Ruler, the ultimate trial is perfect. Luo Li's eternal guardian, dominate the entire empire, and the attributes of the entire army plus 100% god-level invincibility DPS reduces damage by 5 times, 99%, the monster's upper limit is 100,000, morale is forever burning, cross-server portals are reversed, and all portals are self-generated. The golden light flooded the screen, and the entire guild exploded with god-level pulses. The 5 tiger generals knelt down in tears and kowtowed. Goddess Luo Li's god-level buff, command the virtual empire and worship the immortal. The aftermath of the battlefield, the black mist has dispersed and the blood has faded away. Shadow crystals, gold coins, and iron ore are piling up like a sea. The daily output is soaring to tens of millions. The defense towers are upgraded to a god-level DPS with a range of 10,000 meters. All sets are unlocked. The elite army's blood-soaked god level reached 100, DPS soared to 90, and the new blood was widened. Eyes widened, trembling, admiration burst into tears. Brother Shou led the whole team to god level. Luo Li's god level buff, our tank's output exploded, the guild's 100,000 strong iron-blooded god level army was invincible, and the whole server was running automatically. Passers-by's barrage turned to green sea forever. Shocked worship. Li Xiu has level 100 DPS, 50,000 crits, 90 divine crowns, leads hundreds of annexations, and has a combat power of tens of millions of myths across the server. He has full control over virtual empires across servers. MO fans iron-blooded Eternal Grey will be the best in the server forever. Chu Tian slapped his shoulders and laughed, his face dry with sweat and iron-blooded sunshine. Brother Xiu, the Void Dragon Gate plans to kill the gods. Boss Shadow Crystal, we have a monopoly of 10,000 times, and hundreds of guild god tokens will be used to recruit elites from all over the universe. Ye Zhi leaned on Li Xiu's arm, her purple eyes were moist and she burst into tears. The president's ambition is to build a whole server empire, with a 10,000-meter global god buff in the symbolic field, and 1,000 times of resources automatically within the system, and the sisters' divine costumes will be loyal to you forever. Li Xiu's crown god's soft pulsing ambition turned into the glory of the whole server. He sneered and turned to gentleness, looking down at the formation of the Iron Army, the overlord dynasty of the Divine Empire, the eternal formation of 100,000 divine troops, Luo Li's divine blessing. The whole server is in the palm of his hand for virtual eternity. The giant beast roared with 100,000. The roaring formation of the golden dragon relief in the Ironstone village is filled with dragon chants that fill the sky. The trading network produces tens of thousands of gold coins per day, tens of thousands of iron ores, tens of millions of shadow crystals, and millions of defense towers are pulsing with divine light, and the NPC Emperor kneels down to offer the ultimate version of the Void Emperor Cauldron. The blueprint is completely solved, and the main city's god-level portal will forever control the entire territory. The guild is filled with lively divine light, and the attributes of the new blood's divine weapon, Ding Ding, are off the charts. His eyes are filled with purple tears of admiration. Brother Xiu's artifact has given us a DPS of 90,000 critical hits. 10. The giant beast god cavalry AoE destroys the sky, and the god emperor automatically transports all servers to trade automatically. The 5 tigers smash their fists to the ground and burn their blood forever. The commander harvests the universe, the fame and status of the divine treasure are returned, the Luo Li trial is completed, the god emperor lives forever, and the whole server is annexed. The world has changed because of Li Xiu. The divine light of cross-server portals pulses stably and the light of the virtual empire illuminates the entire universe. The barrage of green seas is forever worshipping, the rise of the god tyrant. Li Xiu's virtual empire's divine lineage, the whole server will forever kneel. The edge of Mo fans afterimage is ashes and smoke, and he is howling forever, but deep in the sky, new cracks in the cosmic void suddenly expand and purple mist seeps out like a dream. The whole universe's golden police in the system roars sweetly. Cosmic boss, Dream Void Emperor, awakens because of the imperial divine lineage. Level 200, 100 million level DPS and 500,000 cosmic threats. 3 days of arrival notice. Li Xiu, the commander-in-chief of the God Emperor, will open the virtual universe in a trial of the new era. The soft purple shadow above Taisher village turned warm, the giant beast roared with excitement, the guild channel was full of blood, and the new blood's eyes were furious and punched the sky. Dream Emperor of Nothingness. Brother Xiu's God Emperor collapsed plus Luo Li's God level, we have tens of thousands of combat power to kill the universe. Li Xiu's eyebrows burned the crown in divine flames, his ambition in the universe was reignited, and he looked up to the sky with a big smile. Come on, my divine lineage in the virtual universe. The Overlord dynasty will be immortal. The mine was blazing with flames, and the resource box clanked to the ground. Chu Tian stared at the box with shining eyes. Brother Xiu, the total combat power of the enemy mine will be increased by 10%, and Mofan's veins will break our monopoly. Ye Zhi gently hugged Li Xiu's arm, his purple eyes rippled. The president is calculating, harassment turns into resources, and the empire is at its peak. Everyone in the guild knelt down in worship, and passers-by players rubbed their eyes and screamed in jealousy. The Overlord has broken through 100 people, the level 35 commander has a DPS of 800 plus, the mine is so fat, I am so jealous. The Mofan alliance is over.